A Sex Therapy Workshop Seminar Guide. Sex Problems Introduction. Psychobabble love books are at hashtag 306.7 at the library. Physiological sex books are at hashtag 613.96 at the library. Try hashtag 616.8585 at the library for books about sexual dysfunction. Sex problems is something that people rarely talk about. There isn't even that much about it in the mainstream media or in text compared to other sex topics. My penis starting getting softer after 45. It rarely gets totally hard anymore, but the fact that I only get an 85% erection now doesn't affect my ability to ejaculate and orgasm. The real problem is if you have no mental desire or do not have a physical ability to get aroused. Chapter 1. Sex Therapy Guide. My thoughts on sex therapy. You don't need any kind of state licensing to call yourself a sex therapist. I know an alleged sex therapist who has a high-profile website. I've seen her on TV a few times acting as an expert. She uses the PhD title, but she didn't study at some college for 10 years. It's a mail-order degree from a diploma mill, but she acts like a real professional expert from within the system. She was outed on one of them TV talk shows that reveals liars and scammers. When they confronted her on it, she acted like it was a legitimate degree. She said she had to do an essay/thesis to get it. The university is not on any list of accredited colleges anywhere. The point is that sex therapy, in my opinion, is a big crock of crap. If you read this book, you'll know more than most sex therapists. You're never too far apart when you're holding hands. All the couple therapy in the world comes down to one thing: two people relating, being nice to each other. The woman wants intimacy/the emotional connection, the guy wants sex. Focus on the sensuality over the desire for straight sex. Have a bit of both. The object of sex therapy is to get over hang-ups to enjoy yourself. Most people with sexual problems are too self-conscious, worried about what their partners will think. You have to get over this hurdle, still be respectful of them, but at the same time, focus on getting some pleasure for yourself. Follow your internal bliss sexually. Do what comes naturally to get off. That's what being healthy sexually is: you get pleasure, you give your partner pleasure, and you're both happy with it. Although a very in-depth and subjective phenomena, I will briefly centralize and summarize my perception of the major sexual problems in the next few sections. During my research for this book, I was amazed at the depth and breadth of sexual therapy in the United States. Being such an independent person myself, and my great unbelief in thinking that anyone like a so-called professional sex therapist can solve any problems I might have in this area, I can't understand it except to say that some couples are so far gone psychologically that they need a third party, a mediator of sorts, to get them going again. My thinking is that we're all primal, just like the caveman 10,000 years ago, like the farmer 100 years ago, so why should we be any different now that this pseudo-phony sex counseling business has sprung up out of nowhere? Personally, I feel that too much talk and psychobabble helps destroy whatever inherent primal attraction a couple might hold for each other, if any. If you don't feel that strong primal attraction like you did when you first met, you either try to get it back through action, doing things together, accept the mundane situation as is, or break apart. Intellectualizing what is essentially an emotional primal emotion ultimately doesn't really help marriages out. You either got deep, intense, primal attraction, or you don't. It's safe to say that the initial romance of a relationship is the fantasy brought on by both intense feelings and a high level of hormonal release. Then the marriage is the reality of day-to-day life together, which I grant takes some work and compromises, but the base of attraction and like/love has to be there as a base in order for a couple to work. I wonder, what can a so-called therapist really do? Often, they're unenlightened people who got certified as a counselor or therapist by taking X number of courses somewhere, which doesn't give them the intuitive wisdom to really understand people. Then there's the question of motivation. You got some so-called therapist seeing 10 plus clients a week who can barely remember the story of one from the next, who's got his or her own life to worry about, plus all the foibles that go with being a capitalist, pop culture type person, as are most of the people who get into this field of psychology/therapy, since it is a pop culture phenomena in and of itself, because truly enlightened people see past it all and know that all wisdom in life is intuitive, coming from a place deep in one's soul, that you're born with and can access if you take the time to listen to discover it. A lot of so-called therapists don't have much balls or guts and have been brainwashed by the current ideology in the education of psychologists/therapists, which is to not impose your values on your clients. So the typical therapist these days merely sits there like a neutral body who merely validates what the players say by nodding and repeating their statements in the form of a question occasionally. Granted, I feel that sometimes even this inept neutral type of counselor is better than nothing, because at least it forces alienated couples to talk, but if they're alienated, the passion is gone. They might get a nominal friendship back, but what's really the good of a mundane relationship? In my opinion, a relationship is either pretty good or dead. There shouldn't be much room in there for a lukewarm status. This therapist neutrality is a great bone of contention the critics have against them. Consumer Reports, consumerreports.org, did a poll of couples who went to marriage therapy in 1995 and found that most couples thought the therapists weren't very good at helping them solve their marital problems. So as you can probably tell, I'm not a great fan of what I call the phony field of marital counseling. The business model of sex therapy. As you know, I believe we're all born as primal beings with inherent knowledge about sex, love, and romance already built into us, and I'm not a great believer in all that liberal arts crap they pump out of colleges and call education, but being the thorough messenger I am in covering all viewpoints, I will do my job here and pay lip service to the huge academic and business fields known as sex therapy and sexology. To me, it's a bunch of overrated hype in a business model that has to constantly expand to perpetuate itself, so they do all kinds of useless studies and create all kinds of stupid knowledge and act like it's real enlightened stuff when sex is all about one thing: primal action. If you have a love problem or a couple's problem, talk to a friend or relative about it. They're probably biased to your side and can't see it fairly, but oftentimes you will find you just need a sounding board, somebody to unload all your baggage on, and then you will feel better for a while. And that's the way life is. No counselor anywhere is gonna do better than that. Watch some religious TV for inspiration. Sex therapy, which explores the clinical realm called sexual dysfunction, is big business for psychologists, psychiatrists, sex clinics, media sex shows, psychobabble sex book writers, and every other kook who calls themselves a sex expert. I can't help but think what Adam and Eve or Romeo and Juliet would say to all this industry that has developed around a simple act, two people loving each other and expressing it physically. I'm a firm believer that two people can get what they want intimately simply by being warm, gentle, kind, loving, slow, and patient with each other. However, many people don't seem to be as enlightened as they should be, and some people have real physical sexual problems. So if you feel you need it, you can start your search by looking for books about sexual dysfunction and sex therapy at hashtag 616.606 or RC555 at the library. If you have a low sex drive in general or can't get an orgasm with your partner, it could be physical, but if you can get an orgasm when you masturbate but not with your partner, it's probably in your head. You're too tense, you have performance anxiety, or maybe your partner just doesn't turn you on anymore. Let yourself go, relax, see sex as pleasure that you're entitled to as a human being. It's the most natural thing in the world. Go for it unashamed and unrepressed. Free yourself. If you think your problem might be physical, try watching porno videos instead of TV for 5 days without masturbating while taking Yahimbe pills, ginseng, and amino acids. Do some mild exercise to stimulate your metabolism and natural vitality. Get outdoors for a while to get some sun. If your sex drive doesn't go up after all this, it's probably got something to do with your physical health. You should go see a doctor. There are very few doctors who specialize in sex problems besides the ones at the few bona fide sex clinics across the country, so women should find a gynecologist specializing in sexual problems. Men should find a urologist. Great sex is all in the mind. It comes down to attitude. Think like a great lover and act that way. Ain't nobody out there can tell you much that you don't already have in your natural primal state. It's all nature and instinct. Go with the flow of your soul. Doing things together as a couple to arouse sexuality are fine, things like watching porno videos, softcore porn romance movies, great love movies, going out to a strip bar, spending some time outdoors together, and even certain recreational drugs, whatever it takes to get you feeling naturally horny, like hanging out on a boat on a nice day, catching a buzz with just your shorts or bikini on with half-naked opposite-sex people all around at the beach. Male sexual dysfunction can be subdivided into 4 categories, the first 3 impotence-related. Erectile failure, premature ejaculation, retarded ejaculation, dyspareunia, painful intercourse. Female sexual dysfunction, aka frigidity, can be subdivided into 4 general categories, the first 3 of which are generally considered frigidity. General sexual dysfunction, little or no arousal. Primary and secondary orgasmic dysfunction. Dyspareunia, painful intercourse. Vaginismus, vagina tightens and closes when intercourse is attempted. The problem is either physical, psychological, or a bit of both. Work on your health and your state of mind. Relax and think of yourself as a free-spirited great lover like Adonis or Aphrodite, gods and goddesses of love. I generally don't buy into all the crap about your repressive upbringing somehow affecting your sexual vibes now through hidden things in your subconscious mind preventing you from living a full happy sex life. Life is always only in the moment. In general, women say they need to be happy in the relationship. They need foreplay and several minutes of intercourse before they can get off, so if the husband is a drag and doesn't give foreplay, it's no wonder why his wife doesn't have an orgasm. It's because he's such a lousy husband and a lousy lover. This is the most typical sexual problem on the planet. Talking deeply and caringly about sex and other things is probably the greatest aphrodisiac beyond the fantasies you create in your mind. The female orgasm is a very subjective thing. Beyond the vagina and clitoris, there's a physiological, psychological, spiritual aspect different for different types and intensities of orgasms a woman has and different for different women. Many women say they like the act of sex even though it doesn't necessarily lead to orgasm very often. We're all conditioned to monogamy, which I don't believe is the inherent nature of man, so I think sexual boredom with the same partner is a big cause of impotence/frigidity. I contend that variety is the spice of life. Expand your sexual horizons and you won't need sex therapy. Maybe do something sexually adventurous as a couple, like go to a strip bar, get a sensual massage, swap spouses with another couple, or each hire prostitutes for a session. In conclusion, there are so-called professional academic-oriented psychobabble psychotherapy psychologists and psychiatrists who call themselves sex therapists with all kinds of wackos in between, with diplomas from fly-by-night mail order/new age outfits all the way to hookers masquerading as sex therapists/surrogates with some diploma they got after attending a Saturday morning workshop for $500. Trust yourself over and above everything else on the planet. Don't listen to all the phonies out there wearing white lab coats with several diplomas hanging on a wall. They're system clones, nerds who buy into all that stuff because they're not strong enough to trust their instincts and original minds and go it alone. Live for inspiration. Sex Therapy 1. Sex therapy is a wide open field with lots of uneducated people claiming to be sex therapists, but for the formally educated bunch, it is a subspecialty of psychotherapy. Certified sex therapists help people solve their sexual concerns. In most states and provinces, there is no license necessary to practice sex therapy beyond granting the basic license to practice therapy in general. The most common reasons that people get sex therapy is low sex drive and low arousal. Couples often have a mismatched sexual desire for each other, or they might have marital problems. There are 2 possible components of any sexual issue: psychological, physical. The sex therapist will offer you knowledge about how to solve your problem and refer you to a doctor who might prescribe drugs for your problem. Sex and love are primal. There are no great secrets or advanced knowledge that is worth paying way too much money for to a therapist. osct.org/faqs.asp number sign what underscore is underscore st. Sextherapy.org. Sex therapy 2. There are lots of types of conventional sex therapy. A little of each is often used on patients. Cognitive behavioral therapy, trying to get you to unlearn negative irrational thoughts about sex, shame, guilt, sex is bad, sex is for reproduction not pleasure, to be positive and confident about it. Systematic desensitization is to try to get you to relax, then bring up your fear of sex and/or intimacy. Do this over and over again until you're relaxed in the presence of your sex or love phobia. Lovemaking education therapy, teaching you what to do in lovemaking, then practicing with your mate or a surrogate. You learn that when she rewards you with compliments, does something for you sexually or moans in pleasure, keep doing what you're doing. When she appears indifferent, stop and do something else sexually and romantically. This is about talking intimately, being romantic and pleasing your lover through what you do to her body. Couples therapy is two things: sitting around talking, like answering the love questions elsewhere in this book in order to clear up relationship distance and get more friendly and intimate. Sensate focus therapy is two naked people starting by touching each other non-sexually and not on the genitals, then working up to intercourse slowly over anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months or so. Biomedical therapies are sex pills, surgery, and general health advice geared to increase your libido, like eat healthy foods, exercise, don't drink alcohol, get enough sleep. Bibliotherapy is simply watching sex therapy education on video. Masters and Johnson's approach to sex therapy was couples therapy using sensate focus and other techniques. Couples start with non-genital touching and over 2 weeks or more, work up to intercourse. It's all about slowly reducing the anxiety many people experience around sex. A cognitive/behavioral approach tries to change negative thinking. The first step is sensory awareness training. The couple becomes aware of each other's bodies by touching, looking at each other, massage, etc. Step 2 is to try to understand why he or she has a low sex drive. If the patient has irrational thoughts, he must change them. If the patient feels he will never get it up in the presence of a beautiful woman, he has to realize that he's perfectly capable of it by nature. He has to release that mental block. This is called cognitive restructuring. After that, there are 2 types of exercises: getting aroused through pornos, sexy thoughts, masturbation, etc. Developing hands-on lovemaking skills and social skills. Orgasm consistency treatment is to give instruction on how to get aroused, starting at masturbation, working it up to a woman's erotic areas including clitoral stimulation. Positions are taught which stimulate the clitoris during intercourse. The woman or man is supposed to build up confidence by having successful sexual experiences. The latest trend in marriage proofing, as it's sometimes called, is marriage education before marriage, as in the likes of the many premarital programs out there initiated by churches, but some people want more. They want it to be a requirement before a marriage license is issued by the county clerk. In another vein, these premarital programs/workshops have been used to service another purpose: to upgrade existing marriages, to act as a refresher course of sorts, and for some to be the last-ditch attempt to save the marriage rather than going to conventional therapy. And it seems to be working because it's intense, quick, and confrontational, unlike conventional therapy where the players see the so-called therapist once a week ad infinitum, which is great for the therapist to earn money, but how effective is it in helping a troubled marriage? The crux of all these programs are what is called positive communication, for the couple to actively consciously set aside time regularly to talk and listen to each other, to clear the air, so to speak. This is the game that keeps your average, typical marriage from degenerating. Then hopefully after your talk, you kiss, hug, do romantic things and make love together. It's that simple. And it's very simple to read the temperature of your relationship, where it's really at, where it's really heading, either pretty good or out the door. It comes down to positive vibes in the midst of anger and conflict. When reasonably successful couples argue and have discord, Their spats are filled with positive innuendo as well as critique, but when couples with very little hope of a redeemable relationship fight, there are very few redeeming statements intersprinkled amongst the critique. It's all venom and anger. Based on what I've read, the world is truly in the depths of sexual despair. A lot of people have all manner of sexual problems and go to sex therapists to look for the magical cure. All sexual problems are treatable if you're willing to take action, but there's no magic formula to treat or cure sexual problems. You have to make your own way with it. You shouldn't feel ashamed about your sexual problem because you're not alone. Many people are in the same boat, but nobody talks about it. Sexual problems are a taboo everywhere around the world. The media loves to show titillating sexual tidbits to entice viewers, but when it comes to sexual problems, they're either treated as a joke or not covered at all. Sexual therapy is simply another word for education and having the guts to be real with your lover, maybe swallowing a humble pill sometimes. You don't necessarily have to go to a sex therapist. You can do your own sex therapy at home by yourself with just you and your wife, but if you feel so inclined to seek out a sex therapist, refer to the marital/sex therapy organizations section. We're all brainwashed by the preconception that we should know everything about sex and be ready to go on a whim with no prior knowledge whatsoever. This is obviously false. The greatest remedy is always education and exploration, both self-exploration and exploration with a partner. Lack of time for sex is a cop-out. There's something else going on. Many sexual problems are not your problem. It's just that you can't tolerate your spouse anymore. If you can get off by masturbating but not with your partner, it could be that you just don't desire him sexually anymore. Many middle-agers stay together because they feel that life has passed them by, that they will never attract another because they're slightly used up. I would never stay with anybody in a passionless relationship. Get out rather than stay. Self-consciousness is easily the biggest sexual problem on the planet. You don't feel hot and sexy because you might feel too fat, too tired, too old, too bloated, women with PMS, not a great sexual lover, etc. You can't relax enough or feel so badly about not having a perfect, beautiful body and the suave moves to go with it that you can't enjoy it for what it. Two average people trying to enjoy themselves, not archetypes of Adonis and Aphrodite which rarely exist in the real world. The biggest problems are the simplest. Your own personal problems about not feeling fulfilled as a human being. Ignorance of sex. Feeling of inadequacy as a lover. You feel undesirable. You feel like a crappy lover. The stress of life. Impotence. Parenthood. Children. Money. You have to lose the fat, relax more and work on becoming a slow, open, gentle lover. That's it in a nutshell. In a normally healthy person, lack of interest comes from stress. Parenthood takes a lot of time and effort, but you shouldn't sacrifice your sex life for your kids. You can have both. Put an inside lock on your bedroom door for peace of mind's sake. There's also a great mental block about parenthood. Once people become parents, they often feel that sex is over. They're moving into a new phase of life as picture-perfect parents. This is obviously wrong. If you don't have time, make time. Send the kids off somewhere with a babysitter or set them straight that you need private time when the bedroom door is closed. Sexual inhibition is probably the biggest bona fide, clinically defined sexual problem out there. Many people are afraid of closeness for whatever reason, a mental block from youth, they fear rejection, they feel being exposed, or they might just feel uncomfortable having sex with someone. Sexual intimacy is everyone's right if they're willing to open up for it. It's tough for everyone. Opening up makes you vulnerable and everyone feels scared about doing it. If you're having problems with your partner, you must take a realistic look at it, analyze it by yourself. Then if you want it to go on, you must get real with him or her, agree to wipe the past clean and start all over from square one with no strings attached and no expectations. The most basic rule is always communication, trust, and intimacy. Express yourself gently. Say what you want. Sex is in the mind, relax, touch and talk. Don't accept whammo, bango changes right away. Start slow with soft caresses and cuddling and work it up to kisses, massages, intercourse, oral, etc. The next step is ignorance, which requires education. It's a two-pronged process, learning the theory then putting it into practice. Based on some of the case studies I've read about the naivete of many people, I conclude that ignorance about sex is the cause of many sexual problems. You could go to the library and check out the following sections. Number 158, Intimacy, hashtag 248.84 for Christian books on love, hashtag 301.4 and hashtag 305.4 for some books on the sociological aspects of love, hashtag 306.7 for more books on love, hashtag 613.96 for some medical books on love, hashtag 616.6 for sexual dysfunction, hashtag 616.85-83 for sexual problems, hashtag 618.02 for female sexual dysfunction and hashtag 646.76-78 for cutesy love books with stupid titles. You may not find what you're looking for at the library or even at the local bookstore. Check out the Sex Information and Education Council, siecus.org, for sources of books that deal with sexual problems. In essence, discover your own primal sexuality. Learn about it. Learn about your menstrual cycle. Stay connected to your sex life after having children. Balance parenting and career with a sex life. Learn about your body as you age. Stay connected to sexual intimacy. Never stop learning about life, love, and sex. Sex Therapy 3. If you go to a sex therapist or a general psychologist either alone or with your partner, he or she will ask you to describe your problem, then ask about sexual past/history. After that, this person will give you the exact same advice you can read somewhere this book. There is no magical knowledge or wisdom anywhere. Sex therapy is a business. It's in the therapist's best interests to string you along for therapy sessions for as long as possible because that's how they make money, even if they do nothing useful except give you a hired friend for an hour a week. Sometimes the sex therapist will suggest that you go to a medical doctor to see if your sexual problem could have a physical cause. People have to be open enough to give themselves permission to investigate their sexuality. Be confident with your natural sexuality. You have to feel good about sex and your own sexuality, whatever it might be. If you're a macho guy who likes to cross-dress and likes big-busted Asian women, that's who you are. The sooner you discover this and accept it, the better for you. Heal or overcome your inhibitions about sex. Think about sex. Explore sex. Enjoy it. Invest energy to discover your sexual nature. There is no quick fix solution to improve your sex life. Sex pills deal with blood flow only, not what's in your mind. If you eat too much, drink alcohol, take recreational or other drugs and have stress, they will lower your sex drive. If you think your partner is a poor lover, it might be true, but it might be you too. Make time to work on sex together. Start by both answering a lot of the sex questions together in this book elsewhere, then do non-intercourse sex for a while as in massage and oral sex. Clear the air of tension and resentment between you and your lover. Decide as a couple where does sex fit for the both of you together in terms of frequency, attraction, and time spent on romance, foreplay, etc. There is no sense blaming your lover for being a poor lover. There is sense in each asking the other for your sexual weaknesses that could be improved upon. Know your spouse's sexual needs or desires. Know your own sexual needs or desires. There is lots of sex education everywhere. You could easily read one of the free Kama Sutra books online together. If one cheats, you might need a minister or counselor to help you through it, or just divorce immediately. The cheated on one feels betrayed. You can't really undo betrayal. Neglect is inattention. It could be unintentional. Cheating is a bad intention. If you want to heal cheating, first you have to make peace with each other. Be proactive about your sexual and relationship concerns with your spouse. Talk together, read some educational material about it. There are major events that affect sexual or intimacy issues like infidelity, the birth of a child, injury, illness, use of drugs, grief, money problems, etc. Everything is tied in with everything else you do. When forming your sexual identity, you must figure out if you're heterosexual, gay, or bisexual. If you have a fetish, at least talk to your spouse about it even if you don't act it out. It's normal for sex to go way down after the 18th month of marriage. You two have to decide on what kind of sex life you have throughout your lives together. If one of you turns away from sex, the other has to decide if that's all right. What do you do when you have sexual needs but your partner doesn't? You either compromise or split up. You have to set rules for yourselves as a couple. Sometimes the relationship is fine except for a boring sex life. Simply read this book and try different novel ideas. Experiment and have fun. The biggest part of sex therapy on yourself or going to a counselor is that you free yourself from inhibitions and open yourself up to explore. Part of this is masturbation. Even though everybody does it, very few people are free enough to openly admit to it. As we age, our bodies change. We have to learn to accept our modified looks, body image, and accept our lowering sexual abilities. Sex is great, but there is always a middle ground between excess and the real world. Don't do anything stupid that could get you arrested or into some other kind of trouble. Hiring an escort is fine, but it would be nice if you had some safeguard, like if it was legal and you hired one from a licensed brothel. Some guy got arrested for masturbating in his home in front of his window as girls walked past. He could have closed the curtain and done it, but he didn't. Don't do stupid things. Be wary. People are looking to prey on people who go out looking for sex. This is why I want sexual services legal and out in the open. Sex therapy. 4. Sex therapists not only help couples with emotional relationship problems. They help with problems that have a physiological or medical condition such as impotence, premature ejaculation, painful intercourse, and orgasmic disorders. The most common sexual problem that can't be blamed on a relationship issue is called inhibited sexual desire, a person who has no interest in sex, who has somehow lost it or never had it in the first place. Even though almost no one talks about it, it is actually quite common. Aging affects sexual desire a lot. As people age, their sex drives start to decrease. For some, it's very significant. It's not due to aging per se but to stress, a loss of youthful energy and a general tired, run-down feeling. Good relationship protocols such as communication, honesty, playfulness, a relaxed atmosphere in the home, sensual experiences, and love are important, but sexual problems could go beyond this to encompass problems within the individual. Psychogenic disorders are sexual disorders caused by the way a person grows up from childhood. He or she develops some mental block about sex and love from their formative years that must be corrected by a sex therapist, or so they say, but as a skeptic, I think this is more psycho-bull to try to sucker people and make money off them in endless therapy sessions. Some sexual problems come from an individual having mental problems coping with life in general. These are often either depressed people or nervous, anxiety-laden people. A lot of sexual dysfunction is due to substances an individual is taking. This is called substance-induced sexual dysfunction. It could be alcohol, recreational drugs, prescription drugs, or over-the-counter drugs. There are also a number of medical conditions that can cause sexual dysfunction. Just about every major illness from asthma to multiple sclerosis hampers the sex drive. These are called biogenic conditions. Primary dysfunction is a chronic sexual problem that has always been there. Secondary sexual dysfunction is a sexual problem that is situational. For example, if a guy can masturbate fine by himself but can't get it up with a woman, his plumbing is fine. He just has performance anxiety which can be fixed. Or if a guy can't get it up with his wife anymore but has great sex with the hooker down the street, he's probably not physically attracted to her anymore, or the emotional baggage is so great that she turns him off. In my opinion, sexual problems start when the wife gets dumpy and the man doesn't desire her anymore. Men are hooked on beautiful, young-looking bodies. If your man loves you for you regardless of your body, you're lucky. Many men will stay in a passionless relationship with a girl they don't crave anymore simply for the comfort factor of someone to do the dishes and go out in public with. This is wrong. All people can stay physically vital if they work at it. That's the real key. The secret is to go on with the marriage like you did when you were trying to win her over. It's called imagination and fun. The most basic rules for being a good lover are that you have to have self-respect and self-confidence about your abilities as a lover, and you have to love the one you're with. If you're not really attracted to her, forget it, it will never be great. Most guys and dolls I see around past 40 are dumpy looking. You gotta take care of yourself. How can some guy expect to rekindle the flame with a dumpy hag when he sees all the young, sexy ones around? Yet when I go to the supermarket or the post office, all I see is dumpy looking people. They ain't having great sex and ain't no one attracted to them. The truth is that for most couples, after the honeymoon phase, sex degenerates into boredom. Bedroom boredom is the biggest sexual problem of all, followed by the excuses of no time and too tired. They will do it a few times a month if that. He kisses her, gets on top, then 5 minutes later, it's all over. They might each want more, but they're too shy to suggest it. They're probably secretly bored of the old in-out with no spice, or just plain tired out from the hassles of life. Marriage becomes all about arrangements, managing life's affairs, kinda like a roommate thing with the spark and fun gone. I read an article which said that fewer than 1 in 5 couples, less than 20%, have more than 3 lovemaking sessions a week. This seems very low. It just goes to show you that we're brainwashed into thinking that everybody's doing it a la stupid TV shows, but the truth is far different. It's your life and your choice. You either try something new or get out. You have to make the decision and take action if you really want to share that sweet, powerful joy of unbridled, exploding ecstasy that you crave. You have to open up, then you have to have the freedom to explore. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. You have to feel safe and provide the atmosphere for your partner to feel safe. If you're having sexual problems, you're probably having a lousy relationship all around. You have to change you. Take a good look at your body and face in the mirror. Are you sexually desirable? Do you feel alright about yourself physically? Do you smell bad? The most important thing is the emotional connection, followed by a desirable body, and then fun, laughter, and easy moods. A big problem is when you're hot and she's not. When the wife rebukes the man's advances a few times because she's got kids or whatever, the man gets the hint and shuts off, in many cases, permanently. It's supposed to be a biological fact that men crave sex more than women, but women crave it more as they get older, so it really comes down to individual differences. Therefore, a couple should keep open channels of communication about their desires. If you don't feel like it, tell him, but set a date like Friday night which will be reserved for intimacy no matter what. Sexual problems cannot be perceived in a vacuum, all go back to something in your mind, in your personality, in your character. Some so-called psychoneurologists say that virtually all sex therapists are frauds because you can't just treat a sexual problem, you have to treat the whole person in his or her entirety. They say sexual attraction alone shouldn't be the basis to begin a relationship, and sexual problems shouldn't be the reason to end one. All are treatable if you're willing to work at them. As already mentioned, simply start with communication and education. If you've been sexually repressed, the way to learn is to play with yourself, i.e., masturbate. If you're a woman, get a mirror to look at your genitals. Relax, fall in love with your pleasure spots and enjoy them. Most sex therapy deals with trying to combat communication and anxiety problems. In order to be successful, the couple must work at it together. Beyond education, The trend is sensate focus therapy, which is a process whereby the couple slowly try to get to a fulfilling sexual relationship by working up to it. Over a period of a month or two, they will start with simple touching and kissing, go to massage, oral sex, etc., and eventually work up to full-blown sexual intercourse. If you're a couple who hasn't been having sex for a while for whatever reason, you first have to wipe the slate clean, meet on some common ground and start slowly. Many people will feel clumsy at this stage, but you have to work through it. Get comfortable with each other again. You could start out by each writing out a list of both you and your partner's good and bad points, then going over them and discussing them. Remember, you can't change your partner, but you can change yourself, so focus on that. Go for happy love over mechanical sex. Don't put pressure on yourself. Try to become more aware and sensitive. Go for closeness and sharing over intercourse. Make the bedroom a place of peace. If you must argue, do it outside the bedroom so that it doesn't become associated with negative vibes, rather, a place for romance. Don't argue about things not related to the issue at hand. If your partner constantly threatens divorce, call his or her bluff. Instead of blaming, say, "I feel bad when you." This neutralizes the negativity in the statement. Refer to the section on fights and arguments. Start by kissing and hugging slowly and gently with no pressure attached, just playful intimacy. You have to mix fun, communication, education, peace, and intimacy into the equation. Go with non-intercourse focused intimacy for a few weeks until you're ready for intercourse. It may seem awkward at first, but you have to take steps to touch each other, kiss, hold each other, massage each other, then gradually move on to hand jobs, mutual masturbation, oral sex, then back to intercourse. Dance together, try the whipped cream trick, buy flowers and sexy lingerie, hot tub, blow dryer on the entire body, etc. You should each get medical check-ups just to see if there are any problems there. Use restraint at first. Stroke each other in silence. Try to love each other without intercourse. Massage is the key to get it back. Sex shouldn't be hard work. It should be relaxation, having a good time, so don't try too hard. Consider learning meditation to relax your mind and body. Just lay down and focus on each body part separately, relaxing it, thinking it a limp rag doll. Set the mood, set certain times, and try to please each other. It's the only way to get it back. Try the old lie on your stomach or lie on your back routine and let your partner take care of you by massaging you and doing anything else that's pleasurable. Explore everything but the genitals. Make it romantic. Take turns talking, moaning, giving feedback, laughing, being adventurous, etc. This is exactly what any therapist is gonna tell you to do anyway. If you've been living in a sexless marriage that's reached a stalemate of nonchalance, you should both analyze yourselves and each other sexually. Analyze your ego, job, problems, fear of having kids, fear of intimacy, or whatever. The two of you together and alone should become your own therapists and talk it out to find out what the problems are that are underlying your sexual limbo. Continue to write letters to each other saying what you like and dislike about the other. A variation on this is to pretend that the other person is leaving, so you write a goodbye letter and pour your heart out, saying all the things you wanted to say before but were too repressed to, and now you're trying to win her back by basically crawling on your belly and feeding her ego. Do romantic things without sex, just kissing and hugging. Many people feel that they're over the hill after they have a few kids or the midlife crisis and forget about sex, but it just ain't necessarily so unless you will it so. It's never too late to find your way back to a satisfying sexual relationship. You may get a little older, a little frumpier, a little slower, but these things in and of themselves shouldn't stop two people who love each other from enjoying each other. Again, it all comes down to perception and attitude. Go for relaxation, happiness, and sexual pleasure. Therapists also suggest several other gimmicks to get the intimacy back between a couple. There's role-playing / miming, where the person acts like the other for a while. There are other things like showing his partner what he likes and dislikes about her, favorite and worst time together, pretends he's his or her sex organ and acts out what he wants done to it. They suggest bringing toys and erotic literature into the mixture to increase arousal. Get on the fantasy thing as discussed in another section and masturbate each other and in front of each other. Many men get cynical about sex with their wives and use the two most universal excuses out there, fatigue and too busy, which are cop-outs. You have to help the man get over his mental block and help him relax enough to take the plunge with you to get back to sex the way it was. In fact, that's a good suggestion, to revisit old haunts and try to replicate old dates and memories again now. Start by playing your favorite music and doing the things that you used to do together. Schedule sessions/dates together. Go for a romantic getaway. Get adventurous. Once you get warmed up again, write your partner a sexy love letter, then have sexy surprises like wear lingerie when he comes home or whisk her away to a romantic picnic followed by sex in the great outdoors. In the end, don't expect a quick fix. Sexual problems, like anything else, are an ongoing thing that require constant vigilance and practice to get it right. Don't expect straight-line improvements. As a couple, you may backslide for a while and lose the connection, but get right back on it and try again and keep trying. It's not easy to admit that you have sexual problems, particularly for men. Many men will outwardly say that any efforts on your part are silly and quietly try to sabotage them. You have to have courage and be willing to take the plunge and learn by experience. Keep learning and enjoying sex because it's your birthright, you're entitled to it and it's never too late. As a guy who used to go to a big park to do exercises in the corner where they had the chin-up bars right next to a romantic pathway, I saw maybe about half a dozen couples over the space of 2 years who came in to try something romantic like sit under a tree and smooch. Nobody does romantic things after they get married. That's the biggest sexual problem of all. One thing some people swear by that seems better than couples therapy is group therapy, 3 to 10 couples getting together to talk about love, marriage, romance, etc. Soul gazing is a technique where the couple sits on the floor facing each other, really close, almost in each other's laps, then simply look straight at each other in the eye and talk. Afterwards, they're supposed to touch and practice kissing. Sextherapy.org. Sensate Focus Therapy 1. Focus on a caring relationship before you focus on sex. Sensate Focus Therapy is just like the Taoist view of sex. Focus on sensuality over sexuality. Think of spiritual sex. Above all, release yourself from the burden of the orgasm and whatever you may do intimately as a couple, letting it happen in the moment naturally with no pressure for either person to try to reach an orgasm. The current chic term besides sensate focus therapy is outer course, which means to focus on everything except intercourse to try to arouse each other. Then after you're both sufficiently aroused through outer course, you can move on to intercourse. Sensate focus therapy is a method to try to get a couple who have been stagnant sexually to get some of the spark back slowly over time by working up to it. Over a period of a month or 2, they will start with simple touching and kissing, go to massage, oral sex, etc., and eventually work up to full-blown sexual intercourse. A good position to start is to have guy lay on his back slightly bent up into a half-sitting position on the backboard of the bed. The girl lays into him on top of him on her back too, cradled into him. They're now touching, he can touch and massage her front, they can talk and lay there cuddling, enjoying each other's company. Engaging in touching without pressure to perform reduces performance anxiety, relaxes the couple and helps get them away from judging each other as lovers. Concentrate on the sensual feel of the moment rather than evaluating yourselves and each other as lovers. Each session should take at least a half an hour. You should take turns being the masseuse, the one doing most of the massaging. The basic tenets of sensate focus therapy, which you should work up to over a month or 2, are: get a medical evaluation to see how much of your problem is physical, if any. If taking medications, check to see if the side effects include a lower sex drive. Get rid of all past animosity to start fresh. Become friends all over again. Talk to each other, communicate clearly about sex and non-sexual matters. Don't force anything. Invite your partner to enjoy the moment with you. Don't think of a quick, high-intensity full boil. Think rather of a long sustained simmer. Touch each other sensuously anywhere but the genitals. Mix slow touching, easy cuddling, and the fantasies in your mind to make yourself feel sexy over time, not just in one shot. Keep doing this daily to get the vibe back. Take turns massaging each other. Maybe take a massage course together. Incorporate other romantic elements into the mood like candles, aromatherapy, satin sheets, walks together, talking, etc. Kiss on the lips lightly. Gradually move into touching the erotic zones and the genitals without worrying about intercourse or orgasm. Move into hand jobs on each other. Move into oral sex. Add sensual intercourse when you feel you're ready for it. Let the woman lead and go on top sometimes. Be sensitive to each other. Lighten up. Sex is meant to be mutually enjoyed. Accept your bodies for what they are and still enjoy sex regardless. Sexual relations is the art of finesse. Compromise with your partner. If you don't particularly want to do a certain activity, reject it, not the lover. Don't approach sex as the old mechanical by the numbers routine. If you're not in the mood when your partner wants it, don't reject them, reject the time. Tell them you might feel better later. In order to be sexy, think sexy in your mind all the time. Become aware of your body. Try to exercise it. Masturbate by yourself in order to stay sexy. Think sexy thoughts all the time. Transfer this sexiness to making love with your partner. Use sex toys both by yourself and with your partner to try to reach orgasm. If you have kids, you have to get them out of the house or escape together to a romantic date or getaway in order to keep the sex alive. Stay connected to sex by reading books, educating yourself and watching sex on TV and in videos. Either both of you try to beautify your bodies through diet and exercise, accept each other as is and try to have passion that way, continue on in a sexless marriage or split apart and look for someone who rocks your world. Sensate Focus Therapy 2. Sensate Focus Therapy is a type of sex therapy that assumes that two lovers who have lost that sexy feeling towards each other can get it back by starting slowly and romantically with love. Moving up to intercourse sex through a number of slow stages. While I applaud the modern-day psychobablists for borrowing an ancient Taoist concept of non-intercourse-centered sex, I'm much too primal to believe that all the millions of middle-aged couples out there who might have been pretty, young and frisky at one time can get it back now through this method. Sex is much more primal than that. It doesn't matter how great the sex was 10 years ago. If you're now too stressed out, chubby people living uninspired, generic lives, it's not just a matter of going to therapy and doing some technique to get it back. The one little deception nobody tells you about when you get married is that your partner will age and you won't be physically attracted to him or her anymore. In some cases, all the sensate focus therapy in the world won't revive a dying sex or love life. You can't revive something that has died forever. If you're no longer physically attracted to your partner sexually, sensate focus therapy can't overcome that. So if you've lost that primal attraction, don't try to get it back through these artificial means. Think of sensate focus therapy as getting in tune to your own sexuality, then passing it off to your spouse. You learn about your own sex organs, exercise them a little, learn about your partner's sexuality, then together, slowly try to reignite the flames of passion little by little. Be loving. Focus on pleasure without intercourse for at least 6 weeks as you gradually try to love, feel, and be romantic with each other. Take your time. Relax. Don't focus on the orgasm. Stop rushing. Explore your partner's body and soul. Focus on touch and massage. Focus on the moment only. Empty your mind of everything else. Don't put any pressure on your partner or you to perform. Just let it go where it may. Set a romantic setting. Try to love each other, be pleasant, and try to please each other through touch and romance alone. Take turns massaging and caressing each other. After a few days of non-genital touch, move to caressing each other's genitals. Take turns being the passive and active partner. When you're the passive one, relax and let your lover please you. Take a massage course together if you want. After several sessions of this, move into caressing each other's genitals. After several sessions, try hand and lick jobs to get each other off, then move into intercourse a few sessions later. Always remember that ejaculation is not the goal until the very end. Focus on reconnecting with each other intimately. Also do these sensate focus exercises alone. You're massaging yourself, touching yourself, and masturbating. It's all good. It will make you a better lover. The emphasis is on sensual intimacy, not sex. Don't feel self-conscious. It's normal and natural. Let yourself go. Enjoy it. Use sex toys if you want. Once you begin intercourse, you don't have to come the first time out. Thrust for as long as it's comfortable, then give it up until the next time. Work together at building up the intensity until you eventually reach orgasm. Chapter 2. Self-therapy. Analyze yourself. So-called sex therapists and all psychobablists in general like to say that your upbringing is everything in developing who you are, and if it was negative in any way at all, you're still stuck there with defective thought patterns until and unless you find them and make peace with them by acknowledging them, thinking them through and releasing them, generally with the help of a sex therapist, psychotherapist or other psychobabble therapist. But I can barely remember last week and live for only one thing: the moment I raise my head off the pillow in the morning to live for that day, to seize the current time of my consciousness as a human being who will get old and die someday. I almost never look back except for a sentimental moment here and there, and that's fleeting, so I simply can't buy into this lie about the past greatly affecting me, because I create my life every single day either by being a lazy wimp who sits around and does nothing, or a man of action who runs around and does things to inspire me and keep me vital. As an equal opportunity critic who won't criticize until I give you the info, if you want to probe your past life to see how it affected you and take a look at who you are now, examine your life on these dimensions. Simply write an essay about each, think them through, make conclusions, learn from them to incorporate these insights into your life, then symbolically burn them to purge them from your memory. You and your partner could respond to the following issues by writing them out, exchange your notes and discuss them. Analyze your past life. My relationship with my mother. My relationship with my father. My relationship with my siblings. My relationship with friends, family, and community. Expectations on you which were different from how you really felt. Abandonment issues if you were abandoned by anyone. The impact of divorce if applicable. Your sexual history from childhood. The particular importance of your sexual development from adolescence on. Your ascent into masturbation and fantasy. Your first few sexual experiences. Early crushes. The type of person you're inherently attracted to. Sexual abuse if applicable. Upbringing seeing sex as forbidden and negative, which leads to repression and guilt now. Teenage pregnancy or abortion if applicable. How did it affect you? Analyze your present life. How do you feel about the opposite sex? What should he or she be like sexually? What is your partner like sexually in real life? Who is the ideal opposite sex individual in your fantasies? What are you like in real life sexually? How should you be in order to be sexy? Is sex mostly a matter of free expression, a communication of love, or simply the search for pleasure? What do you really want out of sex? Do you like to have sex with your partner? Do you feel you have a good body or a flawed one? What is the ideal opposite sex body? Does your partner match this or come close? How do you feel about having a baby and being a parent? How do you feel about your life as an individual? How do you feel about your lover's life as an individual? Do you or your lover have any major mental problems in dealing with life? What inspires you most about life? Is this where you spend most of your time? Is it family related to your lover and / or kids, or is it something solitary you do by yourself, like being a great athlete, your work, or creative pursuits? What are each of your major problems and your major problems as a couple? Do you ever feel like cheating? Why or why not? If you have a low sex drive, why do you think it's like that? What can you do to change it? What does it mean to be a great lover? What is the one most important thing to be a great lover? How can you improve your sex life? Can you accept that the media promotes unrealistic sex images and be satisfied with your sex life? Can you be romantic in a common sense way? How? Can you accept your life for what it is and your partner for who they are? Can you love your partner and be playful with them? Can you be sensual in a relaxed, easygoing way? Sexual satisfaction is all about slowing down, not having high expectations on yourself, accepting each other as you are, loving each other as is, talking about things that matter, being easy with each other, not putting pressure on each other, and simply supporting each other as is without getting bamboozled by all those impossible images out in the media. Patience and persistence is what counts, to simply make a commitment to be with each other no matter what, and make a conscious effort to slowly move forward regardless of all the setbacks you have. Check out hashtag 155-158 and hashtag 306.7 at the library for self-help type books. Chapter 3. Couples help each other heal. Couples sex therapy / couples love therapy. When a couple has a problem, the core problem is always, how can we get close again to be friends? Couple building is about conflict resolution, trust building, sex education. Any couple can rekindle their relationship both emotionally and sexually if they're willing to follow a few simple steps as follows. Talk to each other. Listen to each other. Clear the air of anger and negative vibes. Forget the past. Care for each other. Create a romantic, relaxed mood in the house. Spend time together. Have dates and getaways. Go to bed together. Sleep in the same bed. Avoid conflicts. Be positive. Try to relax. Keep trying even if it doesn't get magically wonderful all of a sudden. Reconnect spiritually. Be sincerely interested in re-establishing intimacy. Reconnection is a gradual thing, achieved with effort over time. Even if you backslide, don't seem to connect or lose it again, the only alternatives are to split up, stay together in a sexless marriage, or keep trying to be intimate with one another. Don't blame anyone, just keep trying to be sexy, adventurous, and learning about it. Just touch at first. Don't focus on intercourse until you get close intimately. Do sexy things, dress sexy, clean yourself, smell nice, use aromatherapy, watch sexy and romantic movies together, go for walks in the moonlight, read sexy books, buy lingerie and sex toys, think sexy thoughts, tease each other, do sexually suggestive things, be with each other. There's nothing magical or mystical about sex. It's about a man and a woman trying to be attractive and loving to each other. It takes an undefinable vital primal spark which most people over the age of 35 seem to have lost to the stress and brainwash of the world. The only solution is to love yourself, strive to be youthfully vital, love the one you're with and make mad, passionate love intensely with abandon any way you can as your God-given birthright. If you've got a medical problem, get it checked out by a doctor. Beyond that, it's all up to you and your partner. The crux of a lot of sex therapy is that the couple is alienated spiritually as a team. They simply have to talk more about life, get closer to each other, then slowly get into sex. There are self-help / support groups around for people with sex problems, just like Alcoholics Anonymous, where people sit around and talk about their sex problems to people like them. As a couple, you should try to educate yourself as a team by reading this book together as well as others. Buy some sex instruction videos and watch them together. A large part of sex therapy is assertiveness training. Get the couples to each lose their inhibitions about initiating when they feel horny. In order to have great sex, you gotta feel great about life, Kinda loose and free. When you're trying to reconnect emotionally, the important thing is to proceed slowly without any expectations. There's never anything that has to happen. Let it go naturally. When you start to get intimate again, you don't have to have intercourse every time. Hugging, kissing, and cuddling are fine by themselves. Get over this brainwash thing that it's either intercourse or nothing at all. Have different levels of intimacy. The emotional component. There are two facets to a great sex and love life. The emotional component. The passionate, physical component. For the emotional component, refer to the following. Make the time to be with each other as a couple to talk and explore each other's lives. Commit to at least 3 hours a week working on the relationship. This is probably the most important aspect of keeping a relationship alive. Simply spend time being with one another, trying to act civilly, and the rest should take care of itself over time. Be honest with one another. Recognize that there's an emotional problem between you two that interferes with a healthy sex life. Try to find the source of your conflicts, talk them over and work them out. Have a willingness and commitment to try to improve the relationship. Talk regularly to deal with your issues. Don't settle for cosmetic solutions. Try to get at the heart of the intimacy you as a couple want. Decide on what you realistically want as a couple and shoot for it. Don't expect dramatic improvements overnight. Expect little building blocks of making the relationship better. Don't let the trivial spats derail you. Don't do negative things to try to get each other mad such that you don't really develop your relationship. If one or both are instigators, why bother staying together? Split up for peace of mind's sake. Discuss the following points and try to come to a mutual agreement for each one that's absolutely clear on both sides. These guiding principles are not laid in stone, but try to honor them to the best of your ability. If you or she doesn't follow through on your parts of the bargain after talking about the relationship this deeply and sincerely, it shows your true intentions and you should get a clue and get out. What don't you like about me and what do you like about me? What can I do to make you happier sexually, intimately, and around the house as a good spouse? Do you think I work too much? Should I work less and focus on us more? What do you expect from me and what do you think you owe me as your part of our partnership? What are your clearly defined roles as parents, in the housework, in the finances, as a couple? Do we have any stress and problems? What are they? How do we deal with them? How is your life as an individual? Do you feel stressed, mentally ill? Do you need more space? Do you feel unfocused? Do you need a purpose in life? Do you have anything from the past that you think adversely affects the way you are today? Is there any tension currently between us? What should we do to clear the air whenever we feel tense around one another? Do you want more romance, intimacy, sex, or do you feel we have enough right now? What would you like me to do for you romantically? What type of foreplay and sex play do you really like? Be intimate. Find your comfort zone as a couple and regularly enjoy each other's company to that level. Trust one another. Give and take on an equitable, mutual level. Don't reject or discount one another. Make a relationship agreement that both of you like as to what the other is responsible to do for you and with you. You have to talk freely, openly, and regularly about things that matter. Say what you feel simply and clearly. Listen to what your partner says. Get everything out in the open. Don't assume anything. Say everything you want him or her to know. Come to definite conclusions as to what you will do together to enhance life as a couple. You don't have to do it all in one shot. Just start talking about simple superficial things and work up to the deep, intimate things over time. Discuss, don't argue. Don't be negative. Don't have your talks 10 minutes before work or at bedtime. Give yourself an hour or two of easy time so you can talk in peace without worrying about anything else. The final goal is to feel safe, secure, comfortable, sexy and intimate with one another. Express your affection emotionally, intimately, spiritually, and physically. Find your sexual needs and boundaries with one another by discussing sex and experimenting with it. Don't use sex as the all-purpose cure. Enjoy your sexuality but come to a meeting of the minds intimately and spiritually. Work to combat a low sex drive by using the information in the low sex drive section. Culture your own identity but also culture an intimate identity with your spouse. If you're angry at life or angry at one another, learn to minimize or eliminate it. Show your love for each other. Each take a hand in housework and parental duties. Give each other personal space. Whenever you argue, keep it fair. Don't get nasty and cross the threshold of the unforgiving moment. Keep it limited to the issue at hand. Make a commitment to be there for each other during the hard times. Don't fight or at least limit it to the relevant issues. Don't have power struggles nor use sex as a weapon to either offer in exchange for something or withhold as punishment. Help each other get through life. Support him in his work, help her with housework. Try to be more kind and considerate rather than self-centered and self-absorbed. Instead of competing and having either win-lose situations or no-win situations, try to have a cooperative win-win relationship with each other. Try to relax more and lighten up together. Try to avoid stress in your life. Do soulful, spiritual, and sensual things to make you a happier person in general. Don't be a demanding person or demanding lover. Try to have fun together. Try sex education together, either reading a sex book, get 2 copies, each read the same chapter at the same time then discuss it, watch sex instruction videos or go to sex and love workshops as a couple. The passionate, physical component. For the passionate, physical component, refer to the following. You are who you are right now. The past means absolutely nothing. Live for the moment. Seize the day. Freely enjoy the sexuality you were born with. Get some good sexy music, start dancing around, drink enough wine to catch a buzz, kiss, hug, cuddle and go as far as you want. That's real sex therapy, not some crap some bald-headed old fogey's gonna tell you in a clinical setting. There's masturbation therapy where they try to teach some people to get themselves off, but if you're normal, you should have figured that out a long time ago when you were about 14. It works. You gotta express yourself sexually any way you can. The general steps of masturbation therapy are: strip naked, relax, think sex. Play with yourself. Play with your most sensitive areas. As you play, think sexy thoughts. Do it till you come. If you can't come, buy a sex machine, a vibrator for women and some kind of masturbation device for men to help get you off. Let your spouse watch you while you play with yourself. Let him masturbate you. Start having sex together slowly over time. After a prolonged period of absence from sex, start slowly by touching, kissing, hugging, etc. and move into intercourse only after several sessions of getting into it at a relaxed pace with no pressure on each other to perform. Have an exercise where one is the giver and one the receiver. The giver massages, kisses, licks, hugs his partner while the receiver sits back and takes it all in. After 15 minutes or so, change roles. Agree to initiate and show sexual desire when you feel horny. Tell each other what you want to do sexually. Don't just talk. Sit close together, do simple intimate things like going for a walk, holding hands, kissing, hugging, working your way up to full-blown sex. Do romantic things all the time, both big ones and little ones. Be fun, easygoing, frisky, playful and relaxed. Do things to enhance your own sexuality so you can be a better lover. Watch pornos, go to strip bars, read sex mags, play with yourself, take a massage course, learn more about sex, learn to relax, write out your sexual and romantic fantasies and give them to her, talk about sex with your partner, do sexy things together that aren't directly related to sex in bed like have phone sex and cyber sex, etc. Strive to develop healthy, attractive bodies. Take turns caring for each other. On alternate days, Each is responsible to do something nice, romantic, and intimate for the other. Develop caring rituals like kiss and hug when you come home from work, kiss and hug in the morning, go to bed together and cuddle, go for a walk together, etc. Make up lists of things you like to do as a couple or have done to you. Post them on the refrigerator. Don't have any pressure to perform. Be relaxed about your intimate encounters. Accept the fact that they could just be cuddling or go all the way to sex. Foreplay begins long before you lay in bed together. Culture a sense of foreplay all the time. Have the radio in the kitchen tuned to a love music station and get the porno channel, the romantic classics channel, or both. Don't be afraid to kiss and hug in front of your kids. Get an indoor lock for the bedroom and a radio and fan for white noise so you can have sex together when you want. You don't have to hide the fact that you're having sex from your kids. Just do it in private behind closed doors. It's a natural part of life, nothing to be ashamed of. It's always in your head. You gotta have a sexy, liberated vibe. For premature ejaculation, I discussed the pause and squeeze technique elsewhere. Be patient. Learning to love one another and having sex again after you've lost it once only comes in baby steps by you two working together as a team over time. Just don't give up on each other. If your partner is constantly resistant to attempts to improve the relationship, the best idea could be to not try to beat a dead horse. Save yourself by getting out and looking for someone you can have a real relationship with. ama-association.org/insight/spec_con/sex-dysf asrm.org/patient/sex-dis/html. Chapter 4. Sex Therapy Topics. Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, CBT. Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, CBT, is short-term, goal-directed therapy to try to help people change sexual behaviors that are undesirable. It doesn't work because you are what you are by nature. No reward, punishment, or positive thinking will change that. Sex Therapy Codes of Ethics. osct.org/codeofethics.cfm. rki.de/kasu-nd/arch4/wasi.htm, World Association of Sexology Code of Ethics. surrogatetherapy.org/codeofethics.html. Sex Therapy Dictionary. medicalonline.com.au/medical/sex_therapy, Sex Therapy Dictionary. There is no sexuality specialty for medical doctors. There are gynecologists who are general women's doctors. There are obstetricians who handle pregnancies. Urologists help men and women with urine problems, not specifically the sexual function. We have loads of people who want STD/ST testing. Many men can't get hard. Lots of people complain about low sex drive. Personally, I don't like so-called sex therapists because all they know is general psychobabble. They don't have the knowledge to explore physical causes of sexual problems, nor can they prescribe drugs. On top of that, I don't trust them because I wrote this book. I know there are no great sexual secrets, only the perception that someone has advanced knowledge of sexuality. With a real doctor, at least the guy or girl graduated from med school. With a sex therapist, it's all show. There should be a medical specialty called human sexuality. Get your MD degree, then specialize in sexuality like they do now, or a general practitioner family doctor can add it to his resume. Take X number of sexuality courses, then get certified a sexuality specialist. Chapter 5. Sex Therapy Resources. Find a sex therapist. Go the American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists, at 319-895-8407, assec.org for a referral to a certified sex therapist in your area. You can talk to your doctor or call a major hospital in your area for a list of referrals for sex therapists. If your problem is sex, find a sex therapist, not a marital therapist or family therapist. Each session should last about an hour. Fees go from $75 to $200 per hour. Health insurance sometimes covers sex therapy. Anybody can call themselves a sex therapist. I've seen ads on the internet offering to train you and give you a therapy license from some accrediting agency they made up. ASCT.org, American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. SSDRnet.org, Society for Sex Therapy and Research. bestco.info, the Board of Examiners in Sex Therapy and Counseling of Ontario. Sex Therapy Organizations. ASCT.org, American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists gives certification requirements. AAMFT.org, American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy, AMFED. SAXtherapy.com, American Academy of Clinical Sexologists lists sexologists certified by ABS. BASRT.org.uk, British Association for Sexual and Relationship Therapy. American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. 435 North Michigan Avenue. Number 1717. Chicago, Illinois 60611. 312-895-8407. 312-644-0828. Fax, 312-644-8557. ASCT.org. Nonprofit, educational organization will refer you to a legitimate sex therapist. American Board of Sexology. 2431 Aloma Avenue. Number 277. Winter, PK, FL 32792. 407-645-1641. Sexologist.org. Society for Sex Therapy and Research. Sexual Behaviors Consultation Unit. 40912 St. N.W. POG 96920. Washington, D.C. 20090. 202-863-1646. Fax, 202-554-0453. SSDRnet.org. Lists of sex therapists. ASCT.org, American Association of Sex Counselors, Educators, and Sex Therapists. Sexologist.org, American Board of Sexology. 4sextherapy.com, Directory of Sex Therapists. Find-a-psychologist.com/sextherapy. kinseyinstitute.org/resources/sexlinks.html. Sexualcounseling.com. Superpages.com. Therapyists.psychologytoday.com. 4therapy.com/locator. BASRT.org, British Association of Sex and Relationship Therapists. Therapistfinder.net. Sexualrecovery.com/services. Psychotherapist.net/sex-therapy.html. Sex therapy resources. Just about anybody can call themselves a therapist or a counselor because there are no objective standards. In order to be a licensed psychologist, it's not enough to get a doctorate in psychology. You have to pass the licensing test for the American Psychological Association, APA.com. If you want certification as a sex therapist or a referral to a sex therapist who has passed some kind of licensing test, check out ASCT.org, APA.org, APA.com, or the Society for the Scientific Study of Sexuality/SSSS at ssc.wisc.edu/SSSS. med.umich.edu/socialwork/shcs/sextherapy.htm. What is sex therapy? health.discovery.com/centers/sex/sexpedia/sextherapy.html. docdrafus.com/what_is_sex_therapy.html. webmd.com/content/article/14687_5012.htm?src=RSS_blogger, searching for sex therapy. accord.ie/marital_sex_therapy. ahealthyme.com/topic/topic 1005874660. Alibriss.com, The Illustrated Manual of Sex Therapy. By Helen Singer Kaplan. Alternet.org/story.html ?story ID = 11593, The Ethics of St. Answers.com/topic/sex-therapy. apa.org/pi/therapy.html, booklet by the APA about having sex with your therapist. apa.org/videos/4310727.html. archives.cnn.com/2000/health/men/02/02/find.sex.therapist.wmd. askmen.com/love/love_tip_60/91_love_tip.html. a-womans-touch.com. bbc.co.uk/relationships/sex_and_health/nj-sex_index.shtml. bbc.co.uk/relationships/sex_and_health/nj-sex_sex-therapy.shtml. behavior.net. bestwebbuys.com/sexuality-n_10009471-books.html. bettersex.com, instruction videos. blogs.health.yahoo.com/experts/sexlavine-delamohospital.com, sextherapy-treatment.embarrassingproblems.com, website with many health.yahoo.com/centers/relationships. britannica.com/eb/article-90666994. bupia.co.uk/health_information/asp/healthy_living/general/sex_therapy. cancer.med.umich.edu/share/pro01sp04.htm. chicagotherapist.com/sex_therapy.htm. christiansextherapy.com. closertotruth.com/topics/health/sex/209/209 transcript.html, who needs sex therapy. closertotruth.com/topics/health/sex/209/index.html. columbia.thefreedictionary.com/sex+sign-therapy. coolnurse.healthology.com. coolnurse.healthology.com/webcast_transcript.asp?f=sign sexual_health&sexual health_sex therapy. counselforrelationships.org. Philadelphia, PA. courses.cmich.edu/hev213/ln/sextherapy.htm. cttdev.gps.caltech.edu/topics/health-sex/209, article criticizing sex therapy as a money-centered business. davidarmackenzie.com, Vancouver, BC. davideorion.com, Nashville, TN. dmc.org/health_info/topics/ment4796.html. dopsychotherapy.com/services.php, San Francisco-based psychotherapist and sex therapist. drjoenervine.com. ejhs.org/volume4/book15.htm. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/sex_therapy. encyclopedia.com/html/s/sexstage.asp. e-sextherapy.com, therapy online. factmonster.com/ce6/sci/0844607.html. familyplaytherapy.net/st.html. find-a-psychologist.com/sextherapy/index.htm. findarticles.com/p/article/me_is_8/20/ai_n6213069, sex therapy, men's fitness. findarticles.com/p/article/me_m2372/is_2 Chinese people. Findarticles.com/p/article/me_m2372/is_n1_v35/ai_20746726 Journal of Sex Research, The State of Theory in Sex Therapy. Findarticles.com/p/article/me_qa36588/is_19971/ai_n877890. Case Studies. Florida's Therapyinstitute.org. gannett.cornell.edu/counseling-support/sexcounseling.html. glendon.org, Resources for Sex Therapists. gloria-bram.com/therapy. goascalis.columbia.edu/1453.html, Does health insurance cover sex therapy? gradschools.com/listings/menus/sex therapy_menu.html, Directory of Sex Therapy graduate and postgraduate school programs. gradschools.com/program/sex_therapy.html. guilford.com, Book about sex therapy. healingwell.healthology.com/healingwell/16011.htm. health.discovery.com/centers/sex/essex/expedia/sex-therapy.html. health.yahoo.com/nc/health/y/1885, for women. health.yahoo.com/experts/sex/19056/what-is-sex-therapy. health@hus.com/health@hus/a-to-z/nc/sex_therapy.jsp. healthexpress.co.uk/sextherapy.cfm. healthyplace.com/community/sex/sex_therapy/index.asp. identitiesolutionsno.org. imagotherapy.com. kasamba.com/experts/professional-counseling/relationship-issues/sex-therapy. lifeenhancementservices.com/html/sex_therapy_frames-et.htm. lifeenhancementservices.com/html/sex_therapy_frames-et.htm. marybuxton.com Silicon Valley, CA. marybuxton.com/faq/faq.html. med.nyu.edu/psych/screen/sdsf.html, Sex Test for Women. med.nyu.edu/psych/screen/sdsms.html, Sex Test for Men. med.umich.edu/socialwork/shcs/sextherapy.htm. Medical problems and some sex problems. medicinenet.com/script/main/art.asp article key = 51116. medicinenet.com/script/main/art.asp article key = 51131. mentalhealthchannel.net. mindspring.com/debfox, Ask a Sex Therapist. mtsinai.on.ca/wasser/sex-therapy/default.htm, Toronto, on. mwsexual.com. nacbt.org, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. net-burst.net/sex_abuse/free_therapy.htm. netdoctor.co.uk/sex_relationships/facts/sex-therapy.htm. nzhypnosis.com/sex-therapist.html. odo.com/tag/sex+sign-therapy. onlinecouch.com/bio.htm, Colorado. open.uogulph.ca/sex-conf/sex-therapy-program.html. oralcaress.com/therapy.html. parents.berkeley.edu/recommend/therapy/sex.html. partnertherapy.com. psychiatrictimes.com/p980945.html. psychnet-uk.com/clinical_psychology_sexual_therapy_sexuality_gender identity_general.htm. psychologyhelp.com. psychologyhelp.com/sexu1512.htm. psychosomatic.org. psychotherapist.net. psychotherapist.net/sex-therapy.html. psychpage.com/gay/brbigina.html, gay sex therapy. psychresearch.com/sexwomen.htm. queendom.com/articles/sexwise/therapy-expect.html. queendom.com/articles/sexwise/therapy-spouse.html. relate.org.uk. relate.org.uk/sex problems/sex therapy. relationships.com.au/faq/faq166.asp. remedyfind.com/rem.asp?id=5845. researchchannel.org/prog/display-event.asp?rid=2359, who needs sex therapy. rwjms.umdenge.edu/sex-therapy/education/pgtsex.html. scn.org/ip/csex, Seattle, WA. scn.org/sexdex, Seattle. selfhelp-magazine.com/articles/sex/sexter1.html. sex.therapist.org.uk. sexaddict.com. sex-advice-sex-therapy.com. sexdoc.com. sexdoc.com/sex2.html. sexistem.com. sexhelp.org, lots of sex therapists. sexhelp.org/cafol/bulw.htm, Los Angeles. sexologist.org/what_is_sex_therapy.htm. sexology.org. sexpertcounselor.org, South Beach, FL. sextherapy.co.nz, New Zealand. sex-therapy.com.au. sextherapy.org, San Francisco. sextherapycenter.org, Orange County, CA. sextherapycenter.org/sex_therapy.htm. sextherapyillinois.com. sextherapyinphiladelphia.com. sextherapyonline.com. sextherapyonline.org/home.htm. sextreatment.com. sextext.com, Seattle. sexualcounseling.com. sexualhealth.com. sexualrecovery.com. sexualtherapy.com. sexysextherapy.com. sfhelp.org/08/sex.htm. spicedupsex.com. ssdrnet.org, the Society for Sex Therapy and Research. simpatico.ca/beth/sex_therapy_toronto.htm. tonadinine.com/columnist/column/viagra.htm, Viagra has cost sex therapists money. 10df.co.uk/journal/archive/usmt-con.asp, Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy. 10df.co.uk/journals/journals.asp?subcategory =PS350000. tantarenewyork.com. tfj.sagepub.com/cgi/content/ref/12/1/78, spiritual. thesite.org/sex-and-relationships/couples/relationship issues/relationship therapy. thesite.org/sex-and-relationships/couples/relationship issues/sex therapy. tltc.ttu.edu/harris/silelabu6303.htm. uihealthcare.com/topics/mental emotional health/ment4796.html uec.edu/council/pub/pornographyonline.htm web4health.info/n/answers/sex-gen-social-worker.htm web4health.info/n/answers/sex-therapy-what.htm webmd.com/content/article/14/168750112 searching for sex therapy womanc.com zinet.com/wpickens/jokes/sexther.html Sex therapy online/sex therapy on the phone for a fee. I know for a fact that some of these so-called online love and sex therapists have no formal academic training or credentials, even though they say they do, or they have some mail-order PhD from some diploma mill. Be aware that when you think you're talking to some sex expert, you could be talking to a high school dropout. That doesn't mean his or her advice is any less valid than that of a credentialed expert, but it does mean that most people are full of crap when it comes to offering life advice, because nobody knows you but you. You have your own intuition. Life is not rocket science. Life is really simple. Just listen to what you feel and think. One person's bullshit is just as good as the next person's. That is why I think so-called therapy is all bull. There are a few wise people around, but they ain't wasting their time dispensing love psychobabble for a few bucks a minute. They're thinking big, noble, visionary ideas and living out their lives being inspired. Some of this stuff advertised as online sex therapy or phone sex therapy is really cyber sex and phone sex for repressed people who can't admit that they would call someone looking for a thrill, so they pretend they need sex therapy. On top of that, I read some bad things about so-called sex therapists trying to manipulate their clients/patients to do sex acts with them. Throughout this book I say that you have intuitive wisdom inside of you. If you read this book and use it with your natural intuitive wisdom, that's the best you can get in human consciousness. Nobody else has any advanced wisdom beyond that, especially if they want $3 a minute to talk to you. It's all a money grab in the guise of helping people. ACT.org, American Association of Sexuality Educators, Counselors and Therapists. netdoctor.co.uk/sex_relationships/facts/sex-therapy.htm howtodothinks.com/family-relationships/how-if-you-need-a-sex-therapist webmd.com/sex-relationships/features/what-does-sex-therapist-do sexualtherapy.com, sex therapist directory affirmotive.com asktheinternettherapist.com asktheinternettherapist.com/services/telephone-therapy boostiyourlolibido.com, Dallas, TX briefcounseling.com californiaphonetherapy.com, 800-887-6464 christian-sextherapy.com completecounseling-solutions.com/online-therapy-services.php counseling.liveperson.com counselingpros.com counselingpros.com/phone_counseling.html counselingresource.com/lib/therapy/service/live-online-therapy cynthiapsid.com drsadishafe.com/telephone consultation.html sexual abuse drsusanblockinstitute.com/phone-sex-therapy e-sextherapy.com family-marriage-counseling.com/online-counseling.htm forwardtherapy.com goodtherapy.org/sex-therapy.html healthypsychologycenter.com healthypsychologycenter.com/online-sex-therapy hotphonesextherapy.com justanswer.com/therapist liveadvice.com liveadvice.com/counseling-therapy liveperson.com/experts/health-medicine/sex-therapy. liveperson.com/experts/professional-counseling/relationship-issues/sex-therapy. love-phone.com. my.clevelandclinic.org/disorders/erectile_disorder_impotience/heek_sex_therapy.aspx. myshrink.com. mitherapist.com. phonecounseling.net. phonesextherapysessions.com. phonetherapy.blogspot.com. psychcentral.com, credentialed sex therapists who counsel clients by phone. psychotherapyofsandiego.com/telephone.html. relate.org.uk/sex-therapy. riverbendcounseling.ca. sexaddicthelp.com/links. sex-advisor.com. sexistem.com. sexology.org. sexsmart.com, 781-863-1877. sexurogateo.fla.com. sextherapy.org. sextherapyofsandiego.com. sextherapyonline.org. sextherapysandiego.com. spiritualzesuality.com. tele-therapist.com. thecounselors.com. thecounselors.com. therapistbyphone.com. thesite.org/sex-and-relationship/couples/relationship issues/sex-therapy. totallifecounseling.com. happyscrappy.com/clips/wp/sex-therapy4.html, article about sex therapy by phone. washingtonpost.com/wp-dine/article/a41587-2004 June 14.html, article about sex therapy by phone. drsusanblockinstitute.com, 888-475-6076, woman with doctorate from an unaccredited university. revitalizingpsychiatry.com/phonetherapy.html. uppereast.com/sextherapy.html. phonetherapy.blogspot.com. sexurogateo.fla.com, Los Angeles Sex Surrogates and Telephone Sex Therapy, 415-927-2483. sextext.com/phone.html, Seattle Institute for Sex Therapy, Education, and Research. Free live telephone consultation is available to other professionals. drsusanblock.com/erotic.htm, 310-474-5353. spiritualzesuality.com, sexuality counseling, couples counseling, Phoenix, AZ. e-sextherapy.com. centerforhealthysex.com, Los Angeles Center for Healthy Sex Therapy. gocs.com/faqs.htm, 312-520-4606, Chicago. briefcounseling.com/sex_advice.htm. dearmadam.com, BDSM sex advice, phone sex therapy. delawaresexdoc.com. sextherapyofsandiego.com. sextherapy.org, San Francisco. dearshrink.com. thecounselors.com. Sex therapy websites master list. osct.org/faqs.asp #sign what_is_st. sextherapy.org. aa.org, Alcoholics Anonymous, AA. aset.org/find-a-therapist, American Association for Sex Addiction Therapy. A Center for Marriage Counseling.com, Philadelphia. al-anon.alatine.org, alanon/alatine. aliveandwell.news.com/b/psychservices/couples_therapy.shtml. amazon.com, Book Couples Therapy, a non-traditional approach by Daniel B. Weil. celebraterecovery.com, Celebrate Recovery. cheatingsupport.com, Cheating Support. coda.org, Codependence Anonymous, CODA. COSAcall.com, COSA telemeetings. COSA-recovery.org, COSEX Addicts Anonymous, COSA. Counseling.comer.net/services/couples.html, Orlando, FL. Couplesandfamilies.com, New York. Couples-place.com. DearPeggy.com. DebtorsAnonymous.org, Debtors Anonymous, DA. DivorceInfo.com, DivorceInfo. drbarbaravontana.com/couplesttherapy.htm, Shoreham, New York. drjaniscaudil.com, McKinney, Texas, licensed psychologist and certified sex addiction therapist. drjaniscaudil.poledaddy.com. emdr.com, EMDR Institute. emdria.org, EMDR International Association. giatla.org/euro_summer/couples_therapy_training.htm. healingtraumanetwork.net/default.aspx, Healing Trauma Network. intimacyanorexia.com, Intimacy Anorexia. isurvivors.org, Infidelity Survivors Anonymous. kasamba.com. loveaddicts.org/laamaindex.html, Love Addicts Anonymous. metrorelationship.com. mf-therapy.com. na.org, Narcotics Anonymous, NA. oa.org, Overeaters Anonymous, OA. partnertraumaspecialists.org, Association of Partners of Sex Addicts Trauma Specialists. psychologyinfo.com/treatment/couples_therapy.html. recovering-couples.org, Recovering Couples Anonymous, RCA. recoveryzone.com. relationship-institute.com/couplesttherapy.cfm. sa.org, Sexaholics Anonymous. saa-recovery.org. sanoN.org, S-Anon International Family Groups. shirleyglass.com, Infidelity Support. slaafwas.org, Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. slaaonline.org, Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. smartrecovery.org, Smart Recovery. somaticexperiencing.com, Somatic Experiencing. sussmancounseling.com, NYC. thecouplesclinic.com/couples_therapy.htm. themeadows.com/workshop/love-addiction-love-avoidance-workshop. themeadows.com/workshops/survivors-I-workshop. therapyforcouples.com. therapyhelp.com, Marriage Counseling Colorado. Marriage Problems, Conflict Resolution. traumahealing.org/index.php, Somatic Experiencing Trauma Institute. yourbrainonporn.com/videos, Your Brain on Porn website. Certified sex therapist websites. Go the American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists, at 319-895-8407, assec.org for a referral to a certified sex therapist in your area. osct.org/directory.asp, a listing of every ASEC certified sex therapist in the world. osct.org. ssdrnet.org/directory.cfm. ssdrnet.org/therapist-directory.php. therapysites.com. osct.org/certification.asp. sallyfoley.com. 734-764-4074, Certified Sex Therapist, Michigan. AmericanPsychotherapy.com. BouldersXTherapy.com. CenterForSexualHealth.com. Counselor.org/therapy-sites.html. www.urion.com. drbcook.com. drellenshapiro.com. drmariadarcy.com. drrogerlibby.com. drtiffany.com. drwendyfader.com. dsdguidelines.org/htdocs/parents/resources.html. ectherapy.com, Foot Walton, FL. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/certified_sex_therapist. saxtherapy.com. e-sextherapy.com. expandingzextherapy.com/ACT-certification. familytherapyarena.com. floridasextherapyinstitute.org. gayfriendlytherapists.com. gender-and-sexuality-arena.com. guardiojuries.com/therapists. iitap.com/promote-your-services/sex-therapist-directory. intimacyinsights.com. ipgcounseling.com/about-us/dr-margaret-nichols. janajaffe.com. lilylovecoach.com. linkedin.com/in/annavalenti. linkedin.com/in/mellowckcuff. linsantiagolmhc.com. marilytherapy.com. marijanfamilitherapyneek.com. martyklein.com. mayoclinic.com/health/sex-therapy. mindfuljoe.com. nashvillesextherapy.com. ncpsat.com/ncpsat/resources.html, Phoenix, AZ. New York postgradsextherapy.com. onlinecouch.com. Orange County sextherapy-addictions.com. pattyhard.com. portland-therapist.org. psychotherapist.net. psychotherapist.net/sex-therapy.html. psychotherapist.net/sex-therapy.html. Los Angeles certified sex therapist offers sex therapy, relationship counseling, marriage counseling, and intimacy work. rosvanmitter.com. sallyfoley.com/resources. san diego therapists.com. sexandlifecoaching.com. sexhelp.com/sex-addiction-help/sex-addiction-therapyists. sexsmart.com. sextherapy.org. sextherapycenter.org. sextherapyinfiladelphia.com/directory/world-wide-sex-therapist-directory. sextherapy-premature ejaculation.com. sextherapyessay.com. sextherapytraininginstitute.com. sexuality. Dead website, tryverywell.com and thebalance.com/od/sexualhealthq/and/f/findtherapist.htm. sexualitycoach.com. sherrycohn.com. svsotp.org. thebuhlerinstitute.com. theinterventionexperts.com/certified-sex-addiction-therapist. therapystsites.com. therapysites.com. trianglefamilytherapy.com, North Carolina. voices.yahoo.com/how-become-sex-therapist-903671.html. webmd.com/sex-relationships/features/what-does-sex-therapist-do. wingscounseling.com. zelteneralcsw.com. Find therapy websites. For counseling in any subject, look in the local phone book for family service agencies, the government's Health and Human Services Office, try your local church, YMCA/YWCA, or contact the following for referrals. Some areas have a community mental health center with free or cheap therapy. Try mentalhealthamerica.net/go/information/FAQs for cheap or free therapy in your area. Try #616.86-90 at the library. Therapist referral. 800 Therapist. therapistunlimited.com/rehab/us/. therapyistunlimited.com/rehab/us/al. therapyistunlimited.com/rehab/us/me. therapyistunlimited.com/rehab/us/wy. therapystlocator.net, the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. revitalizingpsychiatry.com/phonetherapy.html, psychotherapist.net, dearshrink.com, thecounselors.com, 1-800-therapist.com, live-counselor.com, find-a-therapist.com, mayoclinic.com/invoke.cfm?id =MH00008, therapypages.com, therapistfinder.com, counselingresource.com en.wikipedia.org/wiki/mental_health_counselor, fortherapy.healthology.com, virtual-therapist.com, findcounseling.com, fortherapy.com, fortherapy.com/locator, fortherapy.com/locator/treatment_center/view.php therapist.psychologytoday.com, aamft.org, marriage and family therapy, aat.org, animal assisted therapy, abulafia.st.hmc.edu/m_miles/faq.html, what is therapy? academyofct.org, cognitive therapy, achievingresolution.com, San Diego, adtia.org, dance therapy, aglp.org, gay and lesbian psychiatrists, amca.org, 800-326-2642, American mental health counselors, amca.org, 800-326-2642, American Mental Health Counselors Association, apa.org, American Psychological Association, apa.org/pub/info/howto.html, choose a psychologist, apsa.org, American Psychoanalytic Association, apt.ac, Association for Psychological Therapies, arttherapy.org, asktheinternеттherapist.com, asktheinternеттherapist.com/psychology_videos.asp, aspirehealth.com/whatsnew.html, Monmouth County, New Jersey marital therapists, atriumpsychology.com, sex therapist, a-womans-touch.com, babcp.com, British Behavioral and Cognitive Psychotherapy, basrt.org, British Association of Sex and Relationship Therapists, behavior.net, behavioraltech.com, behavioraltech.org, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, betterlife.org, Individual, Marriage and Family Therapy, bpccounseling.com, Brooklyn Therapy Psychotherapy Counseling, Washington, D.C., Christian, calamare.com/itc/aath, Humor Therapy, camft.org, California Association of Marriage and Family Therapists, cardiffhypno-analysis.co.uk, chicagotherapist.com, childbehaviortherapy.com/adults.asp, choosingchange.com.au, cognitive-therapy-associates.com/therapy/couples, coloradopsychotherapy.com, core-beliefs-psychotherapy.com, counseling.org, counseling.kasamba.com, counselingnet.com, counselingpros.com, counselingpros.com/phone_counseling.html, counseling.co.uk, counselingresource.com, counselorlink.com, counsel-search.com, National Directory of Family and Marriage Counseling Therapists, creativecounselors.com, dirs.com/therapy, Directory of Mental Health Professionals, divorcehope.com/id11.html, Los Angeles, divorcenet.com/state/nation-wide/choosing_a_marital_therapist/view, drjoenervine.com, drzuer.com/dual relationships.html, Guidelines for non-sexual dual relationships in psychotherapy, ds.interic.net/ant/html/health/gestalt-therapy. eabct.com, European Association for Behavioral and Cognitive Therapies. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/behavioral_therapy. psychologytoday.com, find a therapist at Psychology Today. etherapyweb.com, National Directory of Online Counselors. find-a-psychologist.com. findatherapist.com. findingstone.com/find-a-therapist/region/USA. giatec.edu/gvu/virtual/phobia, virtual reality exposure therapy. gestalt.org, Gestalt therapy. goodtherapy.com.au. groupsync.org, Group Psychotherapy Association. helping.apa.org. home.icon.net/P Hansen, Art Therapy. Ingenio.com, consult a professional therapist by phone. internethealthlibrary.com/therapies. interpersonalpsychotherapy.org. io.org/madness. ipsychotherapist.com. kasamba.com. ksdbt.com, Dialectical Behavior Therapy. laughtertherapy.com. leland.stanford.edu/Corelli, Psychotherapy. liveadvice.com. mentalhealth.org. mentalhealthchannel.net. musictherapy.ca. nacbt.org, 800-853-1135, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. namti.com, Music Therapy. naswdc.org, Social Workers, link to find a therapist. naturalpsychotherapy.com. networktherapy.com. networktherapy.com/library/topic.asp. newjerseypsychologist.com/therapy.html. nmha.org/go/information/get-the-the-family/finding-the-right-mental-health-care-for-you. newyork-psychotherapy.com. okmarriage.org/services/marriageproblems.asp. ottawa-psychologists.org. passionatemarriage.com/sex_therapy_crucible.htm. ppscnc.com, Psychotherapy, North Carolina. processes.org/selfdefense.php. psy.uwa.edu.au/aacbt, Cognitive and Behavior Therapy, Australia. psych.org, American Psychiatric Association. psych.vt.edu/opt, Advancement of Behavior Therapy. psychcentral.com/ask-the-therapist. psychologistanywhereanytime.com. psychologistanywhereanytime.com. emotional.health.ivillage.com. psychology.com/therapy.htm. psychologydoc.com. psychotherapy.com. psychotherapy.net. psychotherapyclothing.com, T-shirts with psychology captions on them. psychotherapyresearch.org. rgardner.com, Creative Therapy. arsglh.org/counseling_those_with_marital_problems.htm. sexhelp.org, lots of sex therapists. sextherapyillinois.com. sexualcounseling.com. socialworksearch.com. telephonetherapycenter.com. thecounselors.com. thelearningcenter.net/psychology. thepsychotherapist.com. therapeuticresources.com. therapeuticresources.com. sanjosecounseling.org. therapistfinder.net. therapyistoccupation.com. therapyists.org.uk. therapyists.psychologytoday.com. therapyists.psychologytoday.com/medicinenet. therapyistsonline.com. therapyistunlimited.com. therapybyregion.net/articles-healers. therapygloves.com. therapyhelp.com. therapyinla.com, Los Angeles. briefcounseling.com, phone counseling. therapytimes.com. therapyworld.com/therapies.cfm. treatmentonline.com. video-counseling.com, counseling and therapy online. well.com/user/self-help. womanc.com, Women's Therapy Center. workshops.okmarriage.org/services/marriageproblems.asp. alt.support. Therapist Network. 800 Therapist. The Alliance of Psychological Healthcare Professionals. 106 Thorn Street, San Diego, California 94013. 619-683-8000. AllianceProfessionals.com. American Association of Pastoral Counselors. 9504 A. Lee Highway, Fairfax, Virginia 22031-2303. 703-385-6967. Fax, 703-352-7725. info@aapc.org. aapc.org. Concerned Counseling. 888-415-TALK. concernedcounseling.com. Family Service Association of America. 44 East 23rd Street, NYC 10010. 800-221-2681. 800-221-2691. fsanet.org. Nonprofit group with over 300 chapters, will direct you to local helping agencies for virtually all problems. National Association of Social Workers. 750 First Street Northeast, number 700. Washington, D.C. 20020. 800-638-8799. 202-408-8600. Fax, 202-336-8311. NASWDC.org. Office of Human Development. Department of Health, Education, and Welfare. 300 Independence Avenue, SW. Washington, D.C. 20201. 202-472-7257. ed.gov. hhs.gov. YMCA. 291 Broadway, NYC 10007. ymca.org. YWCA. 600 Lexington Avenue, NYC 10022. ywca.org. Counselors/therapy by state. Try this formula. therapistunlimited.com/rehab/us/. therapyistunlimited.com/rehab/us/al. therapyistunlimited.com/rehab/us/o. These are state licensing boards for counselor-related professions, which could be counselor, psychologist, marital therapist, or social worker. Alabama. adph.org/providers, most professions. Alaska. dced.state.ak.us/occ/occ-start.cfm. Arizona. aspin.edu/tilde/azbbe/directory/listing.html. psychboard.az.gov/dir, psychologists. Arkansas. state.ar.us/abe/search.php, counseling professions. state.ar.us/swlb/swlb, social workers. California. bbs.ca.gov/weblookup, counseling professions. psychboard.ca.gov. Colorado. dora.state.co.us/pls/real/arms_search.disclaimer_page. dora.state.co.us/pls/real/arms_search.set_up. Connecticut. state.ct.us/dph/script/hlthprof.asp, most professions. Delaware. state.de.us. District of Columbia. dchealth.dc.gov/prof_license/services. dchealth.dc.gov/prof_license/services/search_licensing.asp. Florida. doh.state.fl.us. doh.state.fl.us/irm00pras/praslist.asp, a variety of professions. Georgia. medicalboard.state.ga.us, various medical professions. secure.sos.state.ga.us/myverification, various medical professions. Hawaii. ehawaii.gov/serve/pvl. Idaho. state.id.us/isbd/search.htm. Illinois. dpr.state.il.us/license lookup. Indiana. state.in.us/hpb/mlvs/index, most professions. Iowa. docboard.org/ia. state.ia.us/nursing/licensure. Kansas. ksbsrb.org/verification, counseling professions. Kentucky. kiasupt1.state.ky.us/opb/brd websearch.asp, most professions. Louisiana. lpcboard.org, counselors. lrcboard.org, rehabilitative counselor. lsbme.org/bme search/license czarch.asp, most medical professions. Maine. pfr.informe.org/webquery/licklookup.aspx, most health professions. Maryland. dllr.state.md.us/query. Massachusetts. license.reg.state.ma.us/public/lick.asp. Michigan. cis.state.mi.us/verify. Michigan.gov. michigan.gov/sys. Minnesota. docboard.org/mn. Mississippi. msdh.state.ms.us. Missouri. ded.state.mo.us/professionalregistration.pl. Montana. discoveringmontana.com/dli/bsd/license/license. discoveringmontana.com/dli/bsd/license/bsd_board/med_board. Nebraska. hhs.state.ne.us/list/list.asp. Nevada. glsuite.com/nvbopweb, medical professions, facilities. New Hampshire. state.nh.us/marital/mediators, marital mediators. New Jersey. state.nj.us/lps/ca, most professions. state.nj.us/lps/ca/marriage, counselors. New Mexico. rld.state.nm.us/b&c, most professions. rld.state.nm.us/b&c/counseling, counselors. rld.state.nm.us/b&c/rcb, psychologist. New York. health.state.ny.us. nypsych.org, psychiatrist. opnis.gov/op searches, most medical professions. opnis.gov/op searches.htm #NME. North Carolina. ncmedboard.org. nccpsychologyboard.org. North Dakota. health.state.nd.us/ndhd. ndbsway.com, social workers. Ohio. state.oh.us/med/license. state.oh.us/psy, psychology. state.oh.us/script/CSW, social worker, counselor. Oklahoma. okmedicalboard.org/medboard. youroklahoma.com. Oregon. bme.state.or.us, medical professions. obpe.state.or.us, psychologist. Pennsylvania. licenspa.state.pa.us. licenspa.state.pa.us/default.asp. Rhode Island. 63.72.31.182, most professions. docboard.org/ri. South Carolina. lookup.llronline.com, most professions. lookup.llronline.com/lookup. lookup.llronline.com/lookup/counselors.asp. South Dakota. state.sd.us/do, Department of Health. state.sd.us/dcr/counselor. Tennessee. state.tn.us/health/lickensure. Texas. license.state.tx.us/licenses/arch. tdh.state.tx.us/hcqs/plc, some medical professions. tdh.state.tx.us/hcqs/plc/lpcros.text, counselor. tdh.state.tx.us/hcqs/plc/mft.htm number sign rosters, marriage and family therapists. tdh.state.tx.us/hcqs/plc/lsw, social worker. Utah. secure.e-utah.org/llv. utah.gov. Vermont. sec.state.vt.us/seek/lrsb-seek, most professions. docboard.org/vt. Virginia. 6bnet.org/dhp, most medical professions. Washington. doh.wa.gov/a-z. West Virginia. docboard.org/wv. Wisconsin. 165.189.238.43/plsql/plsql, most professions. 165.189.238.43/plsql/plsql/search_ind_health. Wyoming. wyombboard.state.wy.us. ncs freedom.org/resources/kink-aware-directory/cap-directory-homepage.html, find therapists, doctors, lawyers, etc. Cool with kinky people. Find gay and kink-aware professionals. Codependency support group websites. cdrs.ca, Codependence Recovery Society, to assist and nurture the growth of Codependence Anonymous in Canada and to promote the healing and growth of codependence. coda-uk.org, Codependence Anonymous, UK, a set of informal self-help groups made up of men and women with a common interest in working through the problems that codependency has caused in their lives. coda.org, Codependence Anonymous, US, a fellowship of men and women whose common purpose is to develop healthy relationships. COSA-recovery.org, COSA Recovery, for anyone whose life has been affected by another person's compulsive sexual behavior. Offers a 12-step recovery program. DrIrene.com, Dr. Irene's Verbal Abuse, for verbal abusers and their codependents. health.groups.yahoo.com/group/codependence, Yahoo Groups, Codependence, all codependents are welcome regardless of recovery stage. This is a non-religious, non-gender biased, peer support group. silcom.com/tildejoy2meu, Codependence Recovery, Counselor, and Spiritual Teachers pages on emotional and inner child healing, spirituality, and personal empowerment. Recovery from the disease of codependence involves stopping the war within us. Chapter 6. The sex therapy business is about making money. My take on sexual dysfunction. 1. Mainstream social science forces have created industries to treat both low sex drive and high sex drive, sex addiction. It's a great business venture, to convince people they're either too horny or not horny enough, then make money off them through therapy sessions and drugs. I kind of laugh contemptuously at so-called sex disorders because I know the problem is holistic and common sense. It's basically all about two things. 1. A strong engine or strong bull can do anything it wants, including getting it up/aroused at will. 2. Sex lives in the mind. In order to be sexy, you have to think sexy thoughts, do sensuous things for the love and glory of life, engage in sexual literature, porn, and theater, and have an active sex life either or both by yourself or with lovers. 90% of everything else you read, in my opinion, is bullshit, a capitalist venture geared to suck you out of money. The most basic therapies on the market nowadays are 1. Psychoanalysis or some kind of therapy where they tell you your sexual problem is based on something buried in your past, so they spend endless hours discussing it with you at $80 a shot. 2. They say your problem is in your plumbing, which comes down to blood flow and hormones, so they will sell you pills that will supposedly help you with this. The real problem in any situation is just threefold. Are you strong, fit, healthy and vital? Do you have a sexy mind? Do you have sexual, spiritual, and aesthetic chemistry with your lover? Does he or she turn you on? Of everything I have ever read about low sex drive, not one article brought up the fact that there were two overweight, ugly, wrinkled, dull, generic, uninspired people sitting there who didn't turn each other on sexually by look, never mind the technique. If you're over 35 years old, chances are your sex drive is due to the fact that your spouse doesn't turn you on anymore. If you can masturbate fine but can't get it on with your spouse, it's him or her. They don't do it for you. You don't have a sexual problem. You have a relationship problem. Sexual attraction is always primal. Never forget that. I've seen workshops and therapies where they do all kinds of cosmetic stuff to get the couple to get closer and more intimate with each other, but if the primal attraction ain't there, it ain't gonna happen. Forget the fact that you fell in love with a beauty queen. Right now, she's a fat, ugly hag. That's the reality of it. She doesn't turn you on sexually. You might like or love her as a person, but she does not turn you on. It's that simple. You don't need some fancy-assed, phony therapist to go through their entire repertoire of stupid techniques at $80 an hour to try to revive the spark, when the truth is that you're attracted to buxom, young women. It's nature. You either accept your wife as is and have sex with her, stay in the marriage without sex, or move on, find somebody younger. This is why I'm pro-polygamy. When the first wife's beauty goes, you can keep her while bringing a younger wife into it to satisfy your sex drive, but our Western society is much too repressed to ever go for this in my lifetime. Low sex drive is low life drive. Read my book A Free Spirit's Search for Enlightenment and try to get inspired about your life. The regular stress of life tires everyone out at some point in time. Expect sex drive to go in cycles. Sometimes you don't feel like it. I saw a PBS show about the great scientist Nikola Tesla. He was a germphobe and a narcissist. He thought people were dirty. He didn't even like to shake hands. There are a lot of neurotic people around like this. They feel that close contact with another person is unsanitary, dirty, sweaty, and uncomfortable. On top of that, in the past 20 years or so, our culture has opened up the opportunity for us to live self-centered lives as singles, doing exactly as we please. In Tesla's case, he was much more interested in his inventing work than in pursuing women and having sex. His sex drive might have been high, but he sublimated it through his work. Freud called this the defense mechanism of sublimation. Some people release their sexual energy through creative works. A lot of artists are like this. They would rather work than have sex. My take on sexual dysfunction. 2. Sexual problems can result from such things as abnormal sexual development, abuse, aging, fear of love, fear of sex, medical conditions, personal psychological problems, relationship problems, religious background, restrictive social conditioning. You have to find the cause to solve the problem. If you go to a doctor, he or she will check your body out for physiological problems, then they will check all the medications you use for side effects. They'll ask you if you use alcohol, tobacco, or recreational drugs. If the problem is not in your body, not in medications, recreational drugs, tobacco, or alcohol, it could be lifestyle things like stress, diet, lack of sleep, etc. Most doctors who don't find a physical problem will refer you to a mental health person. This is a big choice for you, because if you believe in my point of view, I say there are no so-called mental health experts out there that have any advanced knowledge about psychological reasons for sexual problems that you can't either read about in common sex books at the library, #613.96, or figure out on your own through your own contemplation. If you go for counseling, more than likely it will be like a canned dance. This therapist will act like they know something advanced about sexual problems they can help you with. They will talk to you for a few minutes, then put you into one of the boxes/categories they have about sexual problems. After that, they will follow the canned program they have for that problem, or just ramble with you during your sessions, expecting you to eventually solve your own problem or just get tired of talking about the same stuff over and over to them. The therapist has at least a dozen clients. You're one patient within this group of patients. This therapist will not remember your situation from week to week when you go for your session. They will look at their file and pretend that they know everything you told them in the past, so that you think they're a good friend willing to listen, there to help them, but ultimately it's a money racket. Over and above living as healthy a lifestyle as possible, all you have to do is be real with yourself. A lot of guys can't admit to themselves that the prospect of sex with a woman scares them or intimidates them. Figure out the core of your problem, then try to deal with it the best you can. You can hire a surrogate or try desensitization/meditation/hypnosis techniques to relax you so you're focused on sexual pleasure and not your performance. You either get through your sexual problems through your own efforts or you don't. No so-called professional shrink can help you all that much. You have to do it for yourself. If you have some money, one way to help you get over it is to go to one of those cheap red light areas in the world like Thailand or Tijuana and practice with the girls you hire. If you can't get it up with them, it's no big deal. You paid them, that's all they care about. You can ask them to go slowly, give you a massage or a hand job. You can ask for the girlfriend experience, which is where you're romantic with each other. Even if the doctor says your problem is psychological and not physical, get a prescription for Viagra anyway. The extra blood flow helps with the problem. All the porno guys use it regardless of whether they need it or not. Healthy living is the best solution, along with developing a sexy mindset. Let your fantasies flow. Watch porn. Read sexy stories. Use sex toys on yourself. Masturbate freely when you feel like it. You gotta get to a point where you think, I like sex. I'm just following my true nature that God endowed me with. If your body tells you you're horny, relieve that sexual tension by any means possible. If you develop this attitude, you eventually realize that sex is good and you're entitled to get your dose. All this psychobabble stuff about wounded, inner child, past sexual abuse could be legitimate, or it could be a fraudulent moneymaker which the patient is complicit with because it gives him or her a good excuse for their sexual problems as being out of their control, that they can't help it, whereas I believe that I wake up every day and create my life as I live it. Whatever happened 20 years ago has absolutely no bearing on my life now, unless I'm a wimp who hides behind that as my excuse for being a failure. Couples therapy is a different thing. A lot of couples resent each other because of all the water under the bridge, all the times they feel their mate was rude or unkind to them. Sometimes people need a counselor to get them to talk honestly to each other and start to reconnect slowly through sensate focus therapy. If you have an unrelated medical condition like diabetes or heart disease, that may cause low sexual desire and ability. Testosterone in the form of an injection, cream, or patch, helps both men and women get horny and hard. No matter what, as you pass 50, you can't expect to be as virile as you were at 25. Accept the fact that aging decreases sex drive. Also accept the fact that you're not as physically attractive as you were back then. For a lot of women, they want love or at least a warm-hearted friend before they're willing to make love. In a lot of cases, your lover is terrible and or doesn't give off a caring vibe. If you can masturbate fine but can't get off with the guy, it could be that the guy is not doing it for you. Love is related to brain chemicals. If a woman does not release them because the guy is not being romantic, she will not get aroused sexually. For a lot of women, having an orgasm is not necessary, it's one part of an intimate experience. If it happens or doesn't is not the point. The point is the connection between the players. The easiest ways to be a good lover are: 1. Care about your partner's pleasure or at least act like you do. 2. Talk about love, sex, romance, and your personal preferences. Tell each other what you like to have done on you and show each other how you like it done. 3. Have a positive view of sexuality such that you feel it's all good because it's nature. If you think you're a failure in bed, you have to get over those thoughts if you want to have sex with others. 4. Think about sex, love, and romance, how you can get over your sexual problems and how you can be a better lover. 5. The key to everything is self-respect. You earn it through the things I say in my book A Free Spirit's Search for Enlightenment. 6. If you want ideas on how to be physically vital, read my health book. If one part of a couple doesn't really like sex but does not want to hurt their partner's feelings, you have to be honest and come clean, then decide whether you'll stay together sexless or split up so you can each find someone who suits your lifestyle better. If you are a couple and you want great sex, focus on being great friends. That's the entryway to good to great sex. If you're with someone and do your best to be a good friend but they're still off in their own little world, get a divorce. The medicalization of sex to make money. They say Viagra has brought in $2 billion for the drug company Pfizer. There is now a medical condition for being too horny with pills and therapy to bring you down. It's not sex addiction. They say it's something in your brain that you were born with. They have a pill to bring your libido down. Sex addiction and porn addiction are things you create by your actions. There are several sex disorders for women that all deal with low sex drive. There are sex pills and therapies claiming to make you a super sex bomb. What is the truth? I have come up with 3 options. 1. People have sex problems which the medical community and mental health community have categorized and classified into serious-sounding, official, formal sexual disorders. 2. These sexual problems people supposedly have are the normal cycles of sexuality over a lifetime. 3. People have sex problems but the problems they have are not specific disorders defined by the medical community. People have problems with the way they live and love. They don't live by their true natures. They get stressed out with their work. They have money problems and family problems. They live unhealthy lives. They do not exercise. They eat unhealthy foods. They drink alcohol. They are far away from living in harmony with their spiritual essences as human beings. Their problems are life problems. You can't just slap some sexual disorder label on someone then claim to have a pill and therapy to help them. People's lives are way more holistic than that. The sales pitch is that you have a serious medical or psychological problem which they, the medical industry, have meticulously researched and studied to the point where they now have the latest, cutting-edge knowledge and insights about it which they will use to help you for a fee. The truth is that they are stabbing at the dark in these areas because there is no medical test or brain scan that can definitively say you have a low sex drive due to low dopamine levels or you have a high sex drive that predisposes you to porn addiction because of high dopamine levels that they can lower with this drug. It's a big money racket and an inexact science at best. Don't trust anyone in the so-called sex therapy, low sex drive field. Your problems are all about you as a holistic being. They are not one little simple thing that can be cured with a pill or therapy. You need to live a good, healthy lifestyle to be a sexual dynamo. There are no quick fix solutions. There is no sex therapist on the planet that will ever care about you that much nor want to take the time to really understand you so they can help you. They just want your money. They will tell you the same basic common sense stuff they tell everyone. I say solve your own problems. Nobody else can solve your existential problems of life but you. Alternet.org, How the Pharmaceutical Industry is Monetizing the Female Orgasm. My take on using professional therapists and workshops. Just as you shouldn't ask a surgeon if you need surgery nor a barber if you need a haircut, I believe that the so-called field of sex, love, and romance therapy is a big boondoggle business venture created to make people think there's something wrong with them that some alleged expert knows about and can help them with. I've scanned so many psychobabble books on sex, love, and romance, it boggles my mind how they've taken something so simple and intuitive and built tests, syndromes, disorders, workbooks, workshops and therapies all around it to create this field and industry. We are primal, intuitive beings. We always intuitively know what's going on. Keep it simple, you know intuitively within yourself what you have to do in your own relationship, but I'm an equal opportunity critic pledged to include everything, even what I don't agree with. I believe therapy is necessary in one type of situation where the players are so far gone in contempt that they need a third party to get them to talk to each other, but by then, the marriage is over anyway. Very rarely do marriages come back from a state of mutual contempt. Why try to fix something that's obviously broke? There's such a thing as the unforgivable minute and too much water under the bridge. There are many sex and love resources scattered throughout this book. This chapter includes a few. Therapy is simply another word for education. You don't necessarily have to go to a therapist. You can do your own therapy at home by yourself with just you and your lover, but if you feel so inclined to seek out a therapist, there are several ways to do it. The first way is to ask friends, doctors, priests, and people you trust. Call a hospital, ask for a social worker and ask for a referral. Look up therapists/counseling/human services/mental health services/social services/psychologists/physician-psychiatrist in the yellow pages or on the internet. Call your local mental health facility/organization and ask for a referral. As far as workshops go, they are meant to give you a shot of loving inspiration. Some people take a few tidbits of info from them to heart and become better lovers. The only real rule is to be gentle, loving, and serve your spouse as though you were his or her servant. This usually has a reciprocity effect. Serve your spouse, they serve you back. Try hashtag 306.81 or HQ734 at the library for books about marriage. Refer to my medical book for lots of mental health info. The major Find a Therapist websites. nmha.org/go/information/get-the-me-the-right-mental-health-care-for-you. Counseling.org/resources/code of ethics/TP/home/CT2.ASPX, American Counseling Association Code of Ethics. Counseling.org, American Counseling Association. AAPC.org, American Association of Pastoral Counselors, Christian. APA.org/Help Center, APA Help Center, the American Psychological Association offers advice on how psychological services can help people cope with problems. NBCC.org, National Board for Certified Counselors. NCDA.org, National Career Development Association, the career counseling arm of the American Counseling Association. APA.org/help-center/choose-therapist.aspx, how to choose a psychologist. Treatment-health.com. nmha.org/go/help/finding-help/find-patient-care/how-do-or-residential-therapy. mentalhealthamerica.net/go/find_therapy. mentalhealthtreatment.net. psychcentral.com/blog/archive/2011/07/25/need-mental-health-treatment-in-2-weeks-fat-chance. Therapy referral organizations. Some places to get referrals are colleges or university mental health clinic, community mental health centers, friends, hospitals, internet, phone book, relatives, religious leader, state psychological organization, your doctor. For counseling in any subject, look in the local phone book for family service agencies, the government's Health and Human Services Office, try your local church, YMCA/YWCA, or contact the following for referrals. Some areas have a community mental health center with free or cheap therapy. Try mentalhealthamerica.net/go/information/FAQs for cheap or free therapy in your area. Try #616.86-90 at the library. Therapist referral. 800 Therapist. Therapistunlimited.com/rehab/us/. Therapyistunlimited.com/rehab/us/al. Therapyistunlimited.com/rehab/us/me. Therapyistunlimited.com/rehab/us/wy. Therapystlocator.net, the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. American Association for Marriage and Family Therapists. 112 South Alfred Street, Alexandria, Virginia 22314. 703-838-9808. aamft.org. Lists therapists in the U.S. and Canada by city and state or province. American Psychiatric Association. 1000 Wilson Boulevard. Number 1825. Arlington, Virginia 22209-3901. 703-907-7300 or 1-888-35 Psych. 800-357-7924. healthyminds.org. American Psychological Association. 750 First Street Northeast. Washington, D.C. 20002-4242. 202-336-5500. 800-374-2721. helpcenter.org. National Association of Social Workers. 750 First Street Northeast. Number 700. Washington, D.C. 20002-4241. 202-408-8600. socialworkers.org. Look under quick link/find a clinical social worker. American Occupational Therapy Association /AOTA. POB 31220. Bethesda, Maryland 20824-1220. 301-652-2682. aotia.org. National Register of Health Service Providers in Psychology. 1120 G St. N.W. Number 330 Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-783-7663. nationalregister.org. Chapter 7. Sex surrogates touch genitals/legal escort. Sex surrogates/sex healers. In sex therapy, they sometimes use sex surrogates who is not usually the sex therapist but often a person referred by the therapist who some say is basically a legal prostitute who you can have sex with for money, all under the guise of treatment, which is fine by me, but the conventional mental health field absolutely frowns on this practice. This practice caught on after Masters and Johnson reported a lot of success in using sex surrogates to heal clients of sex problems. When you think about it, It makes a lot of sense provided it's done with the intention of helping guys and gals out with their sexual problems and not just to have sex on both sides. Guys might use the service as a way to have sex in the guise of therapy, while the sex surrogate might be wanting to make money by having sex with as many guys as she can rather than actually sitting there and trying to help them with a sex problem. In the United States, there are very few legitimate sex surrogates. If you see an ad anywhere for a sex surrogate, it is probably an escort trying to get more business. Most legitimate sex surrogates get clients only after referral by a sex therapist. They are certified through International Professional Surrogates Association. POG 4282. Torrance, California 90510-4282. 323-469-4720. ipsa1@aol.com. Surrogatetherapy.org. In Germany, sex surrogacy is subsidized by the government. I saw a bit on a French sex show where the surrogate came once a week to massage a Down syndrome adult man.